So like this year for the Boruto anime, I think we can agree the anime has been like on fire with all the manga content that has been adapted. This has been like easily the best year we've gotten from the Boruto anime with all the manga that has been adapted. Like there's so much crazy stuff that dropped this year. I just wanted to just recap it with you guys because like obviously you guys are big dogs in the Boruto community. You talk about Boruto all the time. And I just gotta say, like, what are your thoughts on this year for the anime? We'll talk about the manga later, but I want to talk about the anime first.
Well, I think first things first. I mean, anime of the year, is that a possibility? I mean, we always talked about having anime of the year ever since like the Jigen fight, and of course the Ishiki Otsuki versus Baryon Naruto. That was like a complete add-on. So when it comes to like just overall anime content, I honestly believe this right here might have been the best year for the anime of Boruto history.
Yeah, I gotta
100%.
facts. Yeah, facts. Cause yo, back in like I don't know if you guys were watching Boruto back in the day, like 2018, 2019. Yo, those days were hell, man. Like 2018 was fine because we had like the Momoshiki fight, but dude, 2019 was so bad because we had like no manga content. It was just pure anime original stuff, and just watching that weekly was so hard to get through. So I feel like this year for 2021, like dude, we were like basically like we were rewarded for like having all this patience because dude, we waited like 3 years to get all this stuff adapted, and we had like what 40 chapters adapted into the anime from like chapter 16 to 55. Dude, there was so much crazy shit that dropped this year. Like I couldn't believe it. Like Baara, you said like anime of the year. I definitely do think it's in the conversation. I would say it's in like top 5, top 3. I have a different anime of the year with Mushoku Tensei. It's like a seasonal anime, but Boruto's definitely like up there. It's so good, man.
No, I was just gonna say I gave Attack on Titan anime of the year. That was my favorite one all year.
Facts. I feel you on that. That's definitely top 3 for me as well. Like, dude, for Boruto though, the way they enhanced the manga too, like they added the additional storylines to like Boro. They added stuff to like Ao and Kara in general. Dude, it was just so good. I gotta ask y'all though, what is y'all we've gotten so many like crazy fights this year. What is y'all best fight that dropped this year? What is your favorite fight?
Wow, that's a good one.
There's been a lot.
Yeah, dude, we got so much.
Top favorite. Yeah, I know, not my top favorite, but one of my favorites, like just to say off the top of the head, is Ao versus Boruto. I think that one was pretty cool.
That was fire.
Yeah.
Like the camera angles and like the way they had him jumping off the discs, that shit was unique.
That was like the
super underrated fight.
Facts.
I think the best fight this year for me would have had to be episode 189. I think Kawaki versus Goro, that fight was fire.
I feel you on that.
Now what was because I don't remember like the first, like this year, like the first thing we got this year in terms of anime content. I hope I'm not mixing anything up, but yeah, I love the Goro versus Kawaki battle, and of course Baryon mode, fucking Naruto versus Ishiki, like god tier, legendary, fucks with it heavy.
Facts.
Yeah. Yo, to be honest, I even think even after the Ishiki Otsuki versus Baryon mode Naruto fight, episode 189 may still actually be the best animated fight in Boruto, which is crazy to think about because obviously Baryon mode Naruto was like insanely animated, but looking back at 189, it looks like a completely different show. It barely even looks like Boruto. It's like the manga copied and pasted, so it was impeccable. But my personal favorite one, I'd probably have to say Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke.
Yep.
I just like when Naruto and Sasuke fight together, and of course, I think specifically that fight in itself, it actually shows the power of the Karma Seal. Not necessarily what Kawaki showed us or what Boruto showed us. No, Jigen is that guy. You feel me? That's gonna be the standard for Naruto, for Boruto and Kawaki in the future. So that fight right there is just amazing to me.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
That fight was fire, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing.
Do you guys think that Naruto's Kurama mode or KCM mode was taken away a little bit too soon? You think they should have left it in series a little bit longer just to see more?
Are you talking about Kurama in general?
No, not like, just Kurama in general, but just the KCM mode. It was just like it seemed like we lost it like super soon. We saw it like probably just a handful of times in anime. It wasn't even presented to us that much.
Just me personally, I'd say we'd have to wait and see. We have to wait to see how the future goes. You feel me? Then we could really tell if they took it away a little bit too soon. But as of right now, I'd probably say no, just because of the flow of the anime. I mean, we're progressing like super fast. Boruto got K2 already. You feel me? With the horn, Kawaki got it too. It's crazy. So I don't know. As of right now, nah, I don't think so.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it's fine for what it is. Like, we've already had like 5 years into the anime, and Kurama did appear like a couple times in battle. So I think right now it's okay. Like as you said, Baara, we'll see. Yeah. As you said, Baara, like we'll see in the future if it's like it was taken away too quickly. But like speaking on the Jigen fight, I gotta say like that's my favorite fight as well, because dude, that shot of Kurama and like the Susanoo just being in front, and then like the Jigen like standing in front of those two was probably the coldest shot I've ever seen in my life. Like when he was standing in front of it flexing. Oh, what's up?
What fight were you guys the most hyped for?
Nah, definitely the Jigen fight. Nah, definitely the Jigen fight. Like, dude, because the way he like rolled them, it was crazy. Like seeing that animated, dude. This man Jigen did like a dynamic entry through Sasuke Susanoo. He did like a Falcon punch through Naruto's Kurama, his Kurama mode. Like, dude, it was so crazy. Like the way they like showed off Jigen was just amazing, and the way they enhanced it too. Because I remember in the manga, Naruto did like 3 shadow clones, and people were like complaining, "Oh, Naruto was nerfed." And then like in the anime, he did like 1,000, right? Which is like expected. And Jigen is like just dancing through those shadow clones. Like that type of stuff I just love. Like it's just like peak choreography to me. Like I just love stuff like that, right?
There was this one scene in that fight where like what Meek was just saying, where he just got done popping all of Naruto's clones with those like spike rods coming out the ground, and he comes out like the shadow clone smoke, swaggy as fuck, bro. Like that scene is so dope.
Yeah,
bro.
it's so gas.
Like charisma.
Facts.
So cool.
Yo, when he pulled up in Naruto's crib and was like, "Hey, my bad, I need to take off my shoes." Yo, that right there, that solidified Jigen as like the GOAT for me. Like I love that shit. Oh my god, like.
Exactly. Yo, and not only that. I mean, when you talk about hype going into a fight, I mean, you gotta think about the anticipation for this fight, because first things first, a lot of people was anticipating Naruto versus Delta to be like this grand animated episode, because we was coming off the Kawaki versus Garo fight. Yeah, everybody wanted to see that, but it was like a huge letdown, and everybody's like, nah, just wait until we get to see the Jigen versus Naruto fight, or Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen fight. That one's supposed to be good. So the anticipation, the expectations, man, and for that episode to just completely knock it out of the park, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I
remember where I was when I first read that manga, the Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah.
That's when you know something's really good, if you can remember where you were at the first time you freaking read it. I mean, I wasn't court, but I was like, that I can still remember.
Yeah.
Still remember where I was the first time I read it.
I hated that fight when I read it in the manga, because this was like, because I was like, what do you mean Naruto couldn't use Toe Sage mode to sense a shrunken combatant? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was heated at the time, because like that was back in like when everybody was like still like hating on like the Boruto anime, because wasn't shit really happening. And like I was really mad at how Naruto and Sasuke were depicted as adults. I was like, there's no fucking way Naruto should still need Sasuke's help versus somebody. But like over time, I kind of grew to appreciate that and what they were trying to do with the character. So yeah, that fight was absolutely amazing. Delta, I was definitely hyped for that one too. But like Baara said, such a disappointment.
Yeah.
But to follow it up with that Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke, like you said, when fucking Susanoo comes up, like he's bad, like he's trouble, he's bad news. We gotta take care of this dude.
That was so gas. Oh my
Everybody
god.
still uses that as clips on their
right.
channels.
Yeah. I always use that. It's just like such an S tier shot. It's so amazing. I still watch that fight like every time. Like sometimes I'm like, when I'm like feeling down, I like sometimes just watch that episode, because it's just so good. It's so memorable. Like I've watched that fight so many times in my past, in my free time and shit, that I'm like, damn, this is like too good, man. Like I gotta say though, the Baryon mode fight was a good follow up. Like the way they depicted Baryon mode compared to the manga, like it was done so well. It was like Naruto was like in Ultra Instinct and shit. The way he was moving, dodging and weaving, like man, it was so
Honestly,
clean.
to be honest, I was just gonna say, Oh, bro.
I didn't like Baryon mode in the manga, but the anime made me love it because
I feel you.
like you said, it's like ultra instant. It was so fire. And
Yeah.
of course, the anime added extra content from the manga that actually made me understand why Naruto needed Baryon mode. Because in the anime, he just kind of was just on his way there, and he looked fine from the panels, and he just kind of used it. But in the anime, like he was fucking crushed.
Yeah, he was about to die. Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
And it's like in the manga, like I remember like waiting for that chapter and it dropped. That fight was like what 10 pages long in the manga. It was so quick. Like I was like, damn, that's it. Like, is that all we get? Like I remember like in the anime, I was really hoping like they expanded it, and they spent like half the episode just like Naruto beating the shit out of Ishiki. Like I just love that, man. It was just so good. What were you saying, Baara?
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, just the introduction of the Baryon mode was just impeccable in Boruto episode 216. I mean, we understood that Naruto was like very close to dying, as Mel was basically pointing out. But as soon as we seen like this firecracker just shoot up in the air, then he comes down and we see Naruto's eyes in the Baryon mode, bro. It was just so hype, bro. It had me just off the introduction.
Facts. Like I really didn't think they would just do it that way. The way they had Naruto like crushed in between those cubes, like you really felt the tension right there. Like you felt the urgency for the need to actually use Baryon mode. So it definitely was paid off. But like, so like we can agree like there's been so many fights that were like crazy this year, right? But I gotta ask y'all this: who is y'all MVP for this year? Like the best character that was here for the Boruto anime for this year?
Kawaki. I would have to give it to him because he spiced the whole series up. Once he made his appearance, like everything started to pop. Everything started to make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this year, like, cause like for the majority of the manga, it's been Kawaki based. Like the whole Kara organization, their goal is basically around Kawaki. You have like Delta and Jigen coming to the Leaf Village. Their goal is to literally retrieve Kawaki. So like his presence alone brought in a whole villain organization, like Otsutsuki lore, scientific technology. Like it's crazy how like one character can just like change the series for like the better essentially. And I know like people don't like it when Kawaki gets like the screen time because he's gotten so much focus, but it's like, dude, he's brought in so many characters that like it's basically changed the series so much, and it made the series much more enjoyable to me, where like just based off his introduction alone with like Kawaki versus Garo, which is like arguably the greatest looking fight ever in like the Naruto franchise, right? Getting that shit adapted, it was like, man, like you could really feel what he was going through. Like I was like in a argument with one of my friends, and like we were arguing like how tragic Kawaki's backstory is. Like, dude, the way they expanded upon like his backstory with his father, like that was crazy. That was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Kawaki's definitely a great pick. For me, I think I'm gonna go with Momoshiki.
That's a good pick. That's a good one. That's a good one.
We're talking about charismatic characters. Momoshiki in his own way is super charismatic. I don't know, like I made this comparison early on for the WWE fans, but he reminds me of Edge, the ultimate opportunist.
I see that.
Yeah. He's really sneaky, really he's an opportunist. And I love when he manifests against Boro, super dope episode, fire fucking episode, Rasengan. That shit was fire. Yeah. And then he turns up, takes out Sasuke's eye. He's super smug. He's taking his time. He's really cerebral with his actions. And then he manifests in chapter 65, fucking spirit gun, Rasen bullet, like fire, dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's definitely been taking it back in blood for real.
100%. And then like when he manifests for Boruto, he's like chilling out on a tree, like super swaggy. Like man, you know what? Just let me take off. Let me handle this boy. Like, let me
yeah, he's great. Like, he's like slowly winning me over as like favorite antagonist. Like it used to be Jigen, but like the way Momoshiki comes out, like he's just on demon timing, Black Air Force energy straight up. Like, yeah.
Not 100%. Yo, I was just going to say to comment on yours. I think Momoshiki as of right now is the best Otsutsuki member that we've ever really seen in the series. That right there is definitely a very good choice. But me personally, I'm gonna have to go with Naruto, man. This guy was literally like the like the spearhead, of course, of everything of defeating Ishiki Otsutsuki, the Baryon mode was absolutely so huge. Now, don't get me wrong, that right there is that right there is just the easiest thing I actually picked to point out. Hey, Naruto, but I think just the whole entire the way he carried himself throughout the whole entire year, like he could have easily shut the whole Amato thing down off the rip. He could have killed him, and we would have been sitting ducks for Ishiki Otsutsuki. I think this guy, as a Hokage, we question a lot of his decisions, even bringing in Kawaki, even though that right there wasn't necessarily this year. But a lot of things that he actually did was for the greater good, and of course, it led to him being. I wouldn't necessarily say be the one to actually defeat Ishiki Otsutsuki, because that was Kawaki, but he was the focal point, of course, in him actually dying. I think he got to be in consideration.
In that scene with Naruto and Kurama, like, oh my god. I mean, I literally cried in that
Yeah,
scene.
I cried too. I cried like a baby, man. I cried for so long.
But it really hit me though.
Yeah, it was a fire scene.
So who do you guys think was who took the biggest L this year?
Biggest L?
Like, you know who
No,
I'm
sorry,
saying.
not the biggest.
It's gotta be Sasuke.
Wait. Biggest letdown.
Bar about to say.
Hey, Baara, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, cool.
Yo, all right. So y'all gonna pretend in a couple of minutes, but let me speak the facts for a second. It has to be Konohamaru, 100%.
Yeah, I feel you.
100%.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
It was extremely critical. It was extremely critical in the Owl fight. Like, let's be honest, the Owl fight came down to a 1v1 with Boruto versus Owl. Konohamaru, as being the Jogan, established himself as being weaker than someone he's actually teaching in Boruto. Not only Boruto, but also Sarada. This man, I'm pretty sure everybody on this call can actually say Mitsuki would beat him in a 1v1, Boruto would beat him in a 1v1, and Sarada would beat him in a 1v1.
Facts.
The leadership just wasn't there. The biggest part about the biggest mission that Team 7 was actually in, he wasn't even the leader, and he wasn't even there. It was Sarada. She's the person who caught the biggest dub for Team 7 in general. And of course, at the end of the year, he's completely left out of Team 7, no longer the captain, because Sarada is now a Chunin. He took the biggest L this year. I know everybody don't want to necessarily say it because everybody want to be nice, but let's keep it. Let's call it.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck. Yeah, keep it a buck. For sure.
I think it's, for me, Konohamaru definitely took a great many L's. He's not the main character, so to speak. For me, like one of the main characters. For me, I think it's Sasuke. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Dude was a complete surfboard for Ishiki. It was super tragic. This dude got his ass beat in that second fight. In that first fight, he literally. I had to, bro. I'm sorry, but it's so true. Like in that second fight, Jigen literally sent this man back home to his wife. This man came to the
he ran like
in a fetal position. Like, it was tragic. My boy was curled in a fetal position.
Bro, he teleported back to his home, which he never does. Like, he never comes home.
He never goes home.
The second he comes home, it's the way he gets his ass whooped. He had to get his ass whooped first to come home. Like, dude.
Sent that man back home to his wife in a fetal position, bro. Tragic.
Hey, yo,
Tragic.
like. Nah.
His eye stabbed out.
Yeah.
Dude, he has no eye. Man, it was tripping.
So,
definitely Sasuke, bro.
Yeah, I agree. He's taking so many L's this year.
That question, I was saying Sasuke. I was thinking Sasuke as well, but I was hoping nobody thought Sasuke. Like,
yeah, I forgot about Konohamaru. Like, in totally though, like the person who took the most amount of L's is definitely Konohamaru. Like, dude, every time he fought this year was like, dude, he got rolled. But the thing is, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Every time he like fought, it was against like these Kara members who are like high Kage, Otsutsuki level. So you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, you can't really, like, let's be real, like Konohamaru's not supposed to like fight Jigen or Ishiki. Right. I thought that was insane, the fact that the anime put that in there. Like, I don't know, they kind of have like a hate boner toward him or some shit, because like there's no way he should be like fighting Ishiki and fighting Jigen. Like, it's like, oh man, like I kind of feel bad for him, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's like, yeah, he's gonna get bodied no matter what because he's fighting these god level characters, right?
Meek, we know you being respectful in that thing.
Yeah.
We can't pretend like the owl fight.
Oh, the owl fight? Yeah, the owl fight. Yeah, I agree. The owl fight, he was a scrub. He was a scrub in the owl fight.
No, Mel. Give me a second, because I gotta explain this. See, again, another thing with him not necessarily taking things to heart. We talked about, of course, Orochimaru killing his grandfather, and Konohamaru and Boruto all being buddy. This man his teammate Mujino died right in front of him on this mission, and he still didn't get back for his mans. He had to rely on the guy he's teaching Boruto to get back. Come on, man, let's keep it a G. He took way too many L's this year. Way too many.
Bro, he got bodied like 3 times against Al. It was crazy. Like, what are you saying, Melo?
You gotta make a cut the malarkey shirt first and foremost. Okay.
Facts. That gotta be merch. That gotta be merch.
Or pick up when I'm putting down. I need some kind of merch. Okay.
Sipping on that 1942. I know you say that a lot.
That one is gonna be a bestseller, 100%. That's funny. But look. The reason why I picked Sasuke over Konohamaru, yeah, Konohamaru takes L, but like Meek said, Konohamaru, he's going up against like these god tier opponents he's not really supposed to be fighting against, and even so, like he's a main character, but he's not like up there with like Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, so on, Kawaki, so on and so forth. So for me, like I feel like
why shouldn't Konohamaru be up there with Boruto though? Like he's his sensei. He should definitely be up there with Boruto. He should be a step above Boruto.
Well, the thing is, like I mean,
like think about it. Back when we had how can I forget my boy's name? Kakashi as a sensei with Naruto, Sasuke. Yeah, Naruto. Huh?
I didn't forget my favorite character's name.
It just slipped my mind. Sorry. Yeah, we had Kakashi as a sensei when he was a sensei to Naruto, who was stronger than him. He even said it. Yeah, your chakra pool is 4 times larger than mine. Just normally without Kurama, or with Kurama, your chakra pool is like 200 times mine. But he was still able to show that he was a sensei. Who was the top dog out of the 4 of them. When it comes to Konohamaru and his students, it seems like he's the weakest out of all 3 of them. Like Mitsuki seems like he shits on him. Sarada, sorry Baara, but the Sarada seems like she shits on him, and fucking Boruto shits on him. So how are your students are way more talented to you?
And Kawaki,
especially on
Kawaki would destroy him. Oh my god!
Like, all of your students are way more talented than you. Like, how is that even possible when you're supposed to be their teacher? Like, that doesn't make sense.
It could be argued that his teaching was so immaculate, so god tier, so great that's why his students surpassed him so quickly.
Fair enough.
Okay. Melo is coping. Pick up. They literally named the whole chapter and the whole episode title "The New Team 7." The Team 7 without this man Konohamaru. He taking too much L's.
Bro, they kicked him off his own team. He got kicked off his own squad. Like, dude.
Wait. So
but eventually Kakashi was, the same way. He played the same role. Eventually he wasn't the sensei. I'm not slandering Kakashi. I love Kakashi. I'm just saying, like, eventually Kakashi played the same role, like where he was no longer, like he was still their sensei, but he was no longer their leader. It was going on missions besides him instead of behind him or under him.
I mean, once my girl Sarada became like the Chunin, the captain, like the leader, like the mastermind, the strategist, the perfect entity of any shinobi ever in existence, of course.
What?
Of course. but here's what I want to hear. What was Meek's and FreeGame's choice? What were you guys?
I said Kawaki, because like his sudden impact. And like the way he had like that fight this year, like that was crazy.
For the L's?
No,
we're talking about the L.
Oh, come on! Oh, my bad. my bad.
Crazy.
Yo, Bar's little icon on Discord started to light up. I was like, oh shit.
I thought we were talking about MVPs, but for L's, I said Sasuke. For Sasuke, it was definitely Sasuke. For like a main character.
The biggest disappointment.
Yeah, Sasuke was definitely the biggest disappointment this year. Just simply because he's been getting bodied so many times. It's like, damn. I wish he got something like a Baryon mode to go out instead of he got his eyes shanked out. It's tough, man.
That's what made me ask you guys. Do you think was KCM taken away a little bit too early, especially in Sasuke's Renegon? You think that was like taken away a little bit too early? Should we have seen them amp it up a little bit and then get it taken away, or I don't know. I guess KCM was amped up to Baryon mode and then we lost it. But Sasuke's Renegon, it was just like it went poke and bye. Like he didn't get no amps on it, nothing. Like he didn't do like no last ditch thing to save everybody from Ishiki. Like he just got his shit stabbed out. It was nothing,
Yeah.
As far as Naruto, he did like a death. He did something that cost his life.
Well, I think it's a good.
I think with Naruto, the anime went out of its way to devalue six paths mode, where like Naruto's entering six paths to chase down robbers and shit and fight like Shin Uchiha's clones and shit. Like it's ridiculous. So like they devalue that. And the second I realized six paths mode for Naruto and six paths Rinnegan for Sasuke were completely irrelevant in the meta, was when fucking Jigen karate kicked this dude out his fucking Susanoo and took out Naruto right after. That's when I immediately knew, okay, this power is relevant at this point. They've been hinting at it before. They've been overusing it, but at this point, yeah, I think so. Now, in terms of Sasuke, there are theories that say maybe he can get the Rinnegan back, maybe whatever. I think the anime kind of dispelled that definitively with Sakura saying like he has no traces of it or whatever she said specifically. But I think maybe hypothetically, if Sasuke turned up in this battle with Cold and Boruto, he did like some super sacrificial dope shit to save everyone's life with some Rinnegan he revived through Izanagi or some weird shit. I don't know. I think that would be impactful. And then I think post that, we can kind of look at it, you know, in hindsight. But right now, yeah, Sasuke's looking real bad. And so did Six Paths Naruto.
Well, I was just going to say it's a trade-off for Sasuke, because the thing about Sasuke, I personally think that it's much more likely for him to actually get another eye or another Rinnegan or another scientific dojutsu or whatever it is than for Naruto to actually get back Baryon mode. So I think, you know, Sasuke, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say taking the most L's and being the biggest disappointment. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a big deal, because Sasuke can easily get back another eye. Let's say a year from now. If you tell me that he gets another eye a year from now, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I feel that. Like his Rinnegan would always like take up so much chakra. The whole like I'm out of chakra meme came out of that in Boruto, right? So it's like, dude, like with him losing the Rinnegan, it isn't too bad. Like, yeah, he does lose his like Rinnegan abilities, but he's only used like only a couple against these like big powerhouses, like against like Ishiki and Jigen. He only used like what his space-time ninjutsu and like the ability to swap like things and objects, right? And like that would take up.
That was the only abilities that was really like going to work.
Exactly.
Every other ability worked.
Every other ability was useless. So like in a way, like it would destroy his chakra reserve. So with him losing the Rinnegan, he does save a lot more chakra to be utilized in battle. Because like I know space-time ninjutsu, it takes him like 25% of his chakra pool or something like that. Like it's huge. It gets him so tired, right? So it's like with him losing the Rinnegan, there is a I guess a benefit of like him having more chakra to be used in battle. That's the way I see it. Like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he got, like, as Baara said, like another eye. Like I think he would get like another Sharingan, because we have like Shin Uchiha's. You can probably make like a scientific ninja tool Sharingan from like Sasuke. You have like Amato as well. He's in the Leaf Village, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sasuke got an upgrade. I think it's about time too, because like his excuse of like, oh, I'm serving like whatever it's called, like I'm atoning for my sins. Like, yeah, it's such bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, dude, it's been like 20 years. Dude, you fought all these Otsutsukis. You saved the world so many times. Like, dude, I need like Sakura to slap him in the face and make him realize that, yo, you need an upgrade now. Like, I don't know. I'm so tired of Sasuke being like this like hobo at this point. I just feel bad for the guy.
Let me ask you guys a question. This is hypothetical. Sasuke, okay, Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen or Ishiki, doesn't matter. If you replace Sasuke with like Kakashi towards the end of the Kaguya battle, like dual Mangekyo, six paths in hands, god tier, with like Kamui, fucking Rakiri, Kamui, Susanoo, Kamui from a distance and close up, of course, intangibility. Do you think they would have fared better with Kakashi than Sasuke?
No, absolutely not.
Nah.
Absolutely not. See, the thing about that is, I think it would even still be I think what you're asking is who's stronger, that Kakashi or Sasuke. I honestly believe the Sasuke at the end of Naruto Shippuden, that Sasuke had a conversation with that Kakashi. But this Sasuke right now, fully grown, fully trained Rinnegan, 16 more years of speed and strength training, 100%. That Kakashi don't hold a candle to Sasuke, and especially in the case versus Otsutsuki member, because Sasuke has been studying Otsutsuki members for a very long time. Kakashi had absolutely no knowledge of it. So of course, Sasuke gotta be the guy.
And on top of that, his Sharingan is much more attuned. Like, dude, he literally broke down Jigen's like shrinking ability with his Sharingan alone. Yeah, and thing is, like, his like the way he can like break down jutsus like that, like no disrespect to Kakashi, but it's like he hasn't had something like that where he's fighting like a god tier. Obviously he was like fighting Kaguya, right? But it's like the way Sasuke can break down like a god tier like Jigen and his jutsu, like that is crazy. And essentially in a way it basically forced Jigen to not use that shrinking ability anymore. That's where he started to use like raw power.
And you know what's crazy about that? Like, if you go back into Naruto, remember when he fought Killer Bee? He could barely keep up with his movements with his Sharingan.
Yeah.
Now he's tracking movements of god tier characters like Ishiki and shit that he can't even see.
Yeah.
So his Sharingan, was amped like crazy. If you want to just like take it from there to now.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you gonna say, Mo?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we can't take it as far back as like Killer B.
No. I'm not taking it
He's
that
just bringing
far
up an
back. I'm just
example.
saying how much like how much he's trained his Sharingan since then. He used to barely be able to keep up with Killer B's movements, and now he's trying to keep up with a god tier Otsutsuki members.
Do we think that do we think his Sharingan, once he after like post Hagoromo transfer, is his Sharingan not being amped by 6 pass chakra? Because I would argue it is.
I don't even know.
I think it is.
Kakashi's was.
No, I think it is. I think it.
But let me make the argument. So here's the thing. I would say a Sasuke who is heavily nerfed, who's always running out of chakra. We had no indications of this being an issue for like DMS Kakashi. Kamui is definitively a superior jutsu than that little teleportation nonsense Sasuke does. And I don't know what answer Jigen or Ishiki would have for intangibility. Like, how would you ever even hit this dude if he doesn't want to get hit? He could literally has the Sharingan to track him when he shrinks down. That's enhanced by 6 pass chakra. Naruto and Sasuke couldn't do shit against Kaguya until Kakashi got involved. I think there's an argument to say, of course, adult Sasuke got more powerful than that version of Sasuke from Shippuden, of course. But there's also an argument to say, well, this dude's not using any of the 6 pass techniques that are really relevant for the top tiers. This dude's not really using anything new or innovative. He's using the same old. His Rinnegan's of teleportation is ineffective in this battle, to say the very least. And he has severe chakra restrictions. And he got kicked out of his Susanoo by Jigen, where we know for a fact that's not happening to Kakashi, because Kaguya launched those Bone Ash, and he just went right through that shit. So he had, like, the intangibility of Kamui is really fucking broken. Plus, he's 6 pass tier. I don't know. I feel like Kamui is a far superior ability stacked with, like, the god tier Kakashi than in tandem with Naruto versus, like, Sasuke with Naruto. I think they would have done much better in my opinion. But
yeah, you make a point. I think you do make a point with the whole Kamui, because that's like so broken. But you gotta take into account like Jigen, like he's like amped by 10 tails chakra, so like he is much more like he is way stronger than like Kaguya at this point. So like yeah, the Kamui is very effective, but it's like you're comparing like the Kamui against Kaguya than against Jigen. Yeah, but he's like way faster. And the thing is, Kamui's relative to Kakashi. He has to activate it on time. And if Jigen can outspeed him, which is a possibility, that can damage him. You don't think so? He's like amped by 10 tails and shit.
If he's fighting Naruto and Sasuke though, if he's fighting Naruto and Sasuke, then he's I'm sorry for cutting you off. If he's fighting Naruto and Sasuke, it'd be kind of hard for him to be able to dodge the Kamui, I would assume, because he's paying attention to Naruto and Sasuke, unless he's paying attention to all 3 of them. That's another big reason why I was like kind of confused how come the other Kages didn't join into the fight. I know it was pretty much last minute, like Jigen just showed up out of nowhere. But like
they would get one shot, sadly. They would get one shot. Like it would be against like Fuse Momo, like when we saw Fuse Momoshiki like awaken, he like one shot all the Kages. Like it would be so, it would just be like that. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jigen would just kill them in one kick, because his kicks are so powerful. We saw what they did to like. What are you saying?
You think they would have held them back, I should say?
Yeah, in a way, because like they're just so much weaker than them. Like they're not even Fuse Momo level, and Naruto and Sasuke were destroying Fusion Momoshiki, right? So
I think numbers are relevant as long as like the numbers scale to the level of power that's being demonstrated on the battlefield. So if you have weaker combatants but you have more, just if you have, I guess it's like quality versus quantity is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with But this is the thing. I don't think Kamui isn't just that you become basically intangible and no one can touch you. That's pretty fucking nasty. It's both offensive and defensive at the same time. It's one of those hacked abilities. But the thing that made Obito so fucking devastating, and no one could defeat him until Kakashi. Like, Kamui is the only thing that defeated Kamui, to be honest. And it's the reason why they took it from Jobito, because it's fucking OP. Didn't know how to write.
Yeah, they had to like literally nerf him.
Well, no, the thing with
I don't know. Well, let me finish this thought real quick, and I'll let you. So the thing is, it's the reaction time of Obito. This dude, it's the reaction time. It's instantaneous. It's not like. So when I say he can't speed blitz him, even if he has amps, like what gets faster than instantaneous reaction time? Because that's basically what Kamui is. He's going up against a wide variety of tier. Like he's literally going up against like fucking teleportation, which is instantaneous movement. And to me, the only reason why Obito lost to Minato was because he was inexperienced and so young. I think the Obito from hell, just I don't know, fucking early Shippuden would have killed Minato in my opinion.
Well, now you're disrespecting one of my
no,
other favorites.
No. Wait. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With the Kakashi thing, I think you're severely underrating the speed of Ishiki Otsutsuki. Here's the thing. Sasuke has literally been training for 16 years, like god level training, to actually get up to the speed of he's not even of the speed of an Ishiki Otsutsuki. So of course, Kakashi can actually become intangible, but to do anything offensively, he has to materialize. And of course, once he does that, it's absolutely curtains. We even seen it with Madara, and we talk about a Madara versus a Sasuke, like a baby Sasuke wet behind the ears, breath still smell like Similac. As soon as he materialized, actually go get the other Rinnegan.
You always gotta add those extra shit on.
No, put it down. As soon as he materialized to go get the other Rinnegan, Sasuke literally cut him in half, and that's just a Sasuke. That's just a Sasuke and a moderate speed comparison. Imagine a Kakashi versus Ishiki Otsutsuki. When Kakashi tries to materialize, it's absolutely curtains. There's nothing Kakashi can actually do in regards to offensive. Yeah, he could become intangible, but of course, this right here is a problem in itself because Kakashi's chakra reserves was completely garbage only with one Mangekyo Sharingan. So imagine with two, he's gonna have to materialize sometime. It's gonna be curtains at that particular point. I don't think that Kakashi is suited for this type of battle at all.
Yeah,
I think you're arguing physicality versus hacked abilities. As my boy Kiddo Maki says in chat there, I think you're confusing that. So, look. I understand what you're saying.
Are confusing what? My bad.
Like physical ability. You're talking about speed, and you're talking about like movement speed. He'll be able to catch him off guard. He's quick, and like he can get from point A to point B. But like,
no, it's not. It's not even about catching somebody off guard. It's not even about that. I literally gave the example. Madara and Sasuke. Madara was not off guard. Madara was actually, but again, what I'm saying, the speed gap doesn't have to be that big. You're thinking of it, oh, hey, maybe Kakashi's as fast as Sasuke, which is completely not true, by the way. But I'm just saying, just the speed gap between Sasuke and Ishiki Otsutsuki, it's just so wide that even if Sasuke tried to do a Kamui, his materialization wouldn't be fast enough to actually evade Ishiki Otsutsuki.
Let me say this, though. If Kakashi still had his Sharingan, though, you don't think that he can? Because the only reason why Sasuke is so fast is because he's using a lightning cloak, kind of like how the Raikage is used. You don't think that if Kakashi still had his Sharingan, he wouldn't be able to move at those speeds? All he had to do was clothe himself in lightning, like Sasuke.
Well, we don't know if you can do that.
That's not first things first. That's not the only thing that makes Sasuke fast. He got a speed amp once he got the amp from the Six Pass.
Yeah,
that wasn't the only thing. So of course I understand Kakashi. He's an elite ninja for what we all know him as. But Naruto and Sasuke, they're on completely different levels. Even with Sasuke with the Mangekyo Sharingan, like let's be honest, Sasuke has a Rinnegan, a upgraded Rinnegan with the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and was still barely good enough to actually compete with Ishiki Otsutsuki. What makes us think that Kakashi with just Mangekyo Sharingans can compete? I'm sorry.
And the thing is with DMS, it's really short. Like I was just looking at like the manga panels for like when he just unlocked DMS. It was like 2 pages long. It was really quick. So like if you really want to take into account if Kakashi uses like DMS against Jigen, he would have 30 seconds to a minute, because I think that was how long he used it in the anime.
wasn't that only reason why that happens because he Obito pretty much gave them to him in some type of ass pull way? Like that's the reason why.
I don't really remember, but I just know it was really short. He didn't have a lot of time to use it.
He didn't have a Sharingan at all at that point in time.
Yeah.
Remember, like it got taken away by Madara.
What you say, Mello?
I'm not talking about. I think you guys are confusing something. Like I'm saying this is like a hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying like DMS, 6 paths to hands Kakashi, dual Mangekyo Sharingan, all of his abilities. I'm not talking about like the actual character and the actual lore with his actual time limits. I'm saying in a hypothetical situation, if you had that version of Kakashi in a hypothetical 2v1 with Naruto going up against Jigen and or Ishiki, not and but or Ishiki, would Naruto, the team of Naruto and Kakashi, yield better results than the team of Sasuke and Naruto? I'm not even saying they need to win. I'm just saying based off of
no.
The thing is though, like DMS
has that teamwork. Like they have, like that's why everybody is like, hey, we got to get these two separated because their teamwork is what makes them dangerous.
Facts. That's why Ishiki separated the two, and also DMS is really short. It's only like a minute long, right? So in that 1 minute. What are you saying?
I get what you're saying.
I'm not factoring in the time limit. I'm just saying like the character itself. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, I'm not talking about the character from the lore. I'm talking about in a hypothetical battle. So basically, DMS until the battle starts and until it ends, whether they win or lose, he still has that level of power.
Okay.
And I think, and I think there's an argument to be made there. Like, if
there
we're
is.
talking about like speed and strength and all this stuff, like I don't know how Ishiki, like. If we're talking about, okay, can Kakashi track Ishiki with the Sharingan? Absolutely, we know that he can. And it's not even just Ishiki. Maybe we have a conversation about
I'm not even sure about that. How do we know that he's able to track Ishiki? Sasuke was barely able to track Ishiki.
And also, can't Ishiki?
Kakashi's not.
And also, can't Ishiki just shrink the Kamui because it's a non-living object, right? That would be crazy. Yeah, like he can just shrink the Kamui.
I don't think so.
I mean,
To be honest, I was just saying that even if as soon as he tries to use Kamui, it's currency. He has to materialize. Like this is the problem with comparing Naruto characters versus Boruto characters, high level ones. I'm saying the speed is just out of this world. The speed, this disparity is just crazy. We see what Momoshiki did to the Kages. The Kages are all strong ninjas in their own rights, but literally they couldn't move out of that same spot. Momoshiki blitzed all of them. The speed wise, it just wouldn't match up.
For me.
Oh my bad.
Yeah, just as you're saying, like when Kakashi used DMS against Kaguya, right? If you're gonna use like his feats, like he did like speed blitz Kaguya in a way, right? But this is like we're talking about Jigen or Ishiki, who's like 3 tiers above her, right? Because we have like Fuse Momo, and then you have Naruto Sasuke, and then Jigen and Ishiki after that, who's like I said, 3 to 4 tiers above Kaguya. It's like, can Kakashi keep up with that version? That's the thing. Like he doesn't have any feats at that point. But there is an argument to be made. Like I see what you're saying, Mello. Like his thing is pretty broken.
When do you think who moves faster? And I'm using faster in air quotes. Minato or Ishiki Otsutsuki? Like who do you think will get from point A to point B faster?
Ishiki,
for sure.
Ishiki.
Okay, I'm just curious. I was just curious.
No, yeah, him for sure.
So you think Ishiki would get from, I don't know, Texas to Chicago faster than Minato?
I mean, if you're taking into account flying right gene, probably not. But if we're just talking about actual speed,
raw speed.
Faster,
like
Ishiki.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm drawing the distinction between physicality, movements from muscle fibers and all that stuff, versus hackability like the flying Raijin. These are two fundamentally different. So when I say Minato, I'm not talking about his base speed as a human. I'm talking about the hackability of the flying Raijin. But look, I don't want to get bogged down on this. I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that was a good debate. Good debate. Yeah. I like that. But let's just wrap up the anime. So out of 10, what would you rate the Boruto anime this year?
10.
10?
Damn. I'll give it that high. I'll give it an 8.
Damn, 8. Damn. Okay. Yeah, what about you, Mello?
I will give it a 9. I think a 9 is solid.
Yeah.
I give it that rating because I think they did a lot with the side characters, which I always enjoy. That's a complaint I have about Dragon Ball. They introduce all these characters and don't do shit with them. So the side characters were excellent. I think the character development for Kawaki was absolutely fantastic. Again, Momoshiki going on a rampage. And just in the anime, I thought was absolutely brilliant. The animation was fantastic. The art was good. When it was good for animation and art. And the pacing of everything. I mean, we got that Jigen versus Naruto and Sasuke fight in that single fucking episode. Like, holy shit. So,
yeah.
I think it's a 9 out of 10. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I would give it like a 9 out of 10. Actually, I would bump it up to 9.5. I just loved it so much this year. There was so many good things that we can't even like count off. There was so much shit that dropped this year that I just loved, and honestly, for me, it was the most enjoyable thing I watched this year. But as well as I feel like the one thing that could have been fixed this year was the I guess the adaptation itself. Like, of course, we got like a lot of episodes that were like adapted very well, including the fights, but some episodes I feel like could have been worked on better, like the Delta fight, the Kashin Koji fight, stuff like that. Like, kind of pushes the anime down a bit because there's so many fights that happen in that small period that they have to sacrifice, art, animation, budgeting, etc., etc. Yeah, I didn't hear. What's your reasoning for 8 out of 10 FreeGame?
I give it an 8 out of 10 is because there was so many missed opportunities. Like you said, the Delta versus Naruto fight. I don't think Kara had. I think they could have fleshed out the Kara characters a little bit better. Like,
I feel
gave them a lot more bodies, made them seem a little bit more menacing than they actually were. Like, every Kara member that we got introduced to, Delta, she was gone in 1 episode. She fought Naruto 1 episode. That was it. We got Boro. Boro was a good 3 episodes. It was an amazing fight. I'm not saying it isn't, but I mean, we got a little bit of backstory on Boro, but I think they could have fleshed him out a little bit more, made him seem a little bit more menacing. Just things like that. Like, I think even Jigen came and went a little bit too fast. Like, we should have some more backstory on Jigen. He's 1,000 fucking years old. Like, there's so much story they could have, went and fleshed out on that. That's the only reason why I give it an 8 out of 10. I think
I feel you.
Did a little bit more story behind it. Put more story. It was dope. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like how they started adapting the manga because we've been waiting for that forever. But I just think that since we waited so long for them to adapt the manga, that we should have had a little bit more material. Like, flesh the manga out a lot more than what they fleshed it out. That's the only reason why I give it that 8 out of 10.
Nah, that's a fair rating. That's a good rating. I like your explanation. I could definitely agree with that. Like, they definitely did rush through the Kara members because they got like Boro and Delta. They had like 1 fight and then they're gone, right? So you didn't really feel the impact. It's just like, hey, they're here, they're strong characters, and then they get bodied right after, Yo, Baara, what's your reasoning for 10 out of 10?
No, my reason is just, comparing this year for Boruto just as a run compared to like a Naruto Shippuden year, which we think is like the peak of Naruto. This year right here for Boruto is definitely right up there with all those years. Just the fights that we got this year was absolutely impeccable. And Boruto has this thing, I don't know why, but a lot of fans, and of course I have this thing too, but us fans, we essentially think that every single Boruto fight has to be the best animated fight that we have ever seen before.
I feel that.
Even though it's not even a seasonal anime, we just have that expectation for Boruto. Because of that, we think it's a little bit lower than it should have. But we have to step back and realize that no other anime is doing things like this. No other anime is having fights like this on a consistent basis.
One Piece is up there. Yeah. One Piece is up there.
Movie, bro.
Yeah, One Piece is looking crazy. Oh my god. I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up, but I've seen some clips, dude. It's legit movie quality. But go ahead, Baara.
Every episode.
But I was just saying, like, we always hear that meme. We hop on Twitter and people say, "Oh, Boruto only has 1 good fight."
My god,
that was like a literal every month occurrence.
Nah, they said every week. Every week, one good episode, one good episode. Like, shut up, man.
Exactly, because that's how many banger episodes Boruto had this year. Boruto was trending on Twitter for damn near the whole year.
Dude, legit every week. Every single week. Oh my god.
Boruto put out consistent bangers. I gotta give him a 10 for that.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Like, dude, Boruto haters had a hard time this year, man. They had a hard time. Oh my god. Like, every time I'm on Twitter, like every time there's a good Boruto episode, which is like almost every week, dude, there's always one person just like, Boruto is trash, no one likes Boruto, and it's like, dude, you gotta catch up. Like, there's no way you think there's only one good episode, because they say that every week. It's like, come on, man. But yeah, I mean, this year I mean, we can probably agree that this year was probably the greatest year for the Boruto anime by far. I think compared to past years, like if you look at like 2020, I thought that was a good year, but that was mostly anime original stuff. 2019 was horrendous. We got like no anime original stuff. 2018 was okay. I mean, we had the Momoshiki fight, but this year we had so much crazy shit that dropped. But like, dude, Boruto fucking killed it. But yeah, that's for the anime. But let's go into the manga, right? So I know the manga this year, it was mostly like a setup year. We had like a change in writers from Kodachi to Kishimoto, to which even people think Kishimoto isn't even writing Boruto right now, which is crazy. Like before we even go into like the manga, like I need your thoughts on that. Like do you think Kishimoto's writing Boruto? Because I seen some debate about it.
I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure. Yo, to be honest, the first time I heard of it, I thought it was absolute BS. But now, you know, as everybody said, after Jump Festa, we actually do.
Oh my god. Oh my
Jump
god.
Festa just was not good.
Yeah, let's talk about Jump Festa. Oh my god, dude, Jump Festa was terrible. Now here's the thing, I had low expectations going into it. I wasn't expecting like another Kawaki trailer like the previous year, but at the same time, it's like, dude, we got like nothing. We got like nothing from that stage. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say nothing, but we got like what, the Sasuke Retsude manga adaptation, but that's more like Naruto-esque, and we got like a key visual. But more or less, we didn't really get much. And compared to the other like super stages, like My Hero, JJK, the other animes, I forget who were there. But like the author, like the mangakas, yeah, like dude, the mangakas like said something about their series. The authors, they're like, yo, hope you enjoy what's coming up. It's like we didn't even get anything from Kishimoto himself, and not even from Ikimoto either, because the previous year, from Jump Festa, we had Ikimoto. He said, yo, the time skip is coming, and of course that probably means in like what, 4 to 5 years from now. But it's like it's like they kind of neglected this year's Jump Festa, and it's like, man, because I live streamed it on my channel, and yo, people were like waking up and like they were like from other countries in like Africa and like India and stuff. They were telling me that in chat, and like, dude, after the Boruto Super Stage ended, people were like throwing tomatoes. It was so funny, like in my chat. Like it was like, damn son, like people were expecting like a time skip announcement, but yeah, Jump Festa was definitely
time skip, a movie,
yeah,
anything.
yeah, like we just got a key visual that a lot of people saw beforehand on Twitter. So damn, Jump Festa. Yeah, look at the other super stages. Like, look at like Black Clover. Look at Chainsaw Man. They're getting like promotional videos, movie trailers. Bleach trailer was crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude, I was screaming at like 4 a.m. seeing that. But
I'm gonna have to start covering some Bleach content.
yeah, Bleach is gas. Bleach is so good. It's up there. That's why it's in the big 3. It's in the big 3 for a reason. But like when you look at all the other super stages, they got a movie trailer, promotional videos. They even got like video game announcements. Like Black Clover is getting like a mobile game. So like Boruto didn't really get anything compared to, you know, the other series that were at Jump Festa. So it was kind of a disappointment. But speaking on the manga this year, like we were talking about Kishimoto. For me, I think Kishimoto's writing it, but I just feel like he isn't taking the care like when he was writing Naruto. I feel like he's not as it's just hard to say because he's just been setting up these characters. This is more or less just like a setup year. I don't know about you guys, but like for a lot of the manga chapters that dropped this year, it kind of just felt like a drag to get through. It's like, damn, that's all we got. Like, give us some more content, you know?
Definitely.
When we were interested in like Ada and Damon, like that was dope and all, but like you get Ada one chapter, and then you get her powers the next chapter, then you get Damon's next chapter. Next thing you know, we have halfway in the new year, it's like, holy shit, what's fuck going on? But I do think it'd be interesting if Kishimoto, one of the things is, as long as he keeps his hands away from Sarada, because I don't want any of his like bullshit female writing.
Oh man, yeah.
And Sarada's so good at the fucking anime, bro. Like she's so fucking written so well. Literally everything. Like I was saying after the Boro fight in the manga, why the fuck is she not Chunin? Literally the anime did that. Like holy shit. So I love that. And the last thing I would say for this is like there were some themes from his new series, Hashimaru, I think it is.
Samurai 8.
Yeah, that I really vibed with. The art style was so fucking busy on panel, like it was too much, but the plot was a little but it was still good. Like, there's something there I really enjoyed. So I think if he incorporates a lot of those concepts in the actual series, Boruto and the Flash Forward scenes using a sword, like a swordsman, Samurai 8. We have the whole space, galaxy, sci-fi elements, of course, the Otsutsuki, multiple dimensions, all this stuff. I think they incorporate some of those concepts and make a fusion of the two. I think we can get something really unexpected from Kishimoto.
Facts. Like, dude, like there's so much sci-fi elements in Samurai 8. So if he does bring those elements into Boruto, which there already is a lot with like the Otsutsuki scientific technology, that could really expand onto it. But for a majority of this year, like, dude, every chapter I'm like, is that it? Can we get some more content? I feel like for the past 2 to 3 chapters though, it's been finally turning up with all this characterization from Boruto, Kawaki, Ada, Damon Code, etc. It's starting to finally like turn, right? Because when you look at Kishimoto or whoever's writing Boruto right now compared to Kodachi was just on a roll. Dude, every chapter, dude, this man was going crazy when Kodachi was writing Boruto. Like, we've gotten so many reveals. Like, we had like the Delta fight, the Jigen fight, the Boro fight. We had so many fights and so many crazy reveals from Kodachi, and Kishimoto obviously is capable of doing that, like what he did with Naruto, of course. But it's more like Kishimoto is taking his sweet damn time. I'm considering that we took like 8 to 9 chapters just setting up characters, explaining their powers, and it's like, dude, get on with it. Like, let's get through it, because this is a monthly manga, this isn't weekly. And if you look at how Kishimoto writes his manga, like when he was writing Naruto, he would take his damn time, he would go really slow, especially in like beginning starts. Yeah, he was doing that weekly. But the thing is, this is a monthly manga, so you have 30 days to give out 40 pages of content. So that's definitely a lot less, because a monthly chapter is about 2.5 weeks of 2.5 chapters of a weekly manga. So there's definitely some content being left out. But with the way Kishimoto's doing it right now, or whoever's writing Boruto, they're adding a lot of depth to these characters that I feel like will pay off in 2022, because right now we're turning the arc up currently, like right in the manga. I don't know how about you guys, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like there's a lot of potential for next year, because this year was more or less just a setup year. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude, no, 100%.
Hiatus.
Wait, one second. I mean, just as Meek said, I mean, this right here, like, whoever's writing the manga now, it's obvious that it's not Kodachi. 100%.
Facts.
Now, we're not completely sure if it's Kishimoto, but to be honest, even if it is Kishimoto, I think Mello's fears is coming to reality, because Kawaki and Boruto right now are completely outpacing her. That's besides the point. But I mean, as Meek said,
it is besides. What are we talking about? The shade, my goodness.
Oh man, I don't mean to get off topic just real quick, but yo, Mel, this guy, he uploaded a video, and I was like just looking at the analytics one day, and I was downloading stuff to put on the Spotify. By the way, guys, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now. If you want to look us up, RB FreeGame Podcast. Anyways, just wanted to plug that real quick. I was downloading videos. I was downloading videos, and wow, you know how you can see all the videos that are processing, or the videos that are scheduled and stuff when it's in the content stuff, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I had sent a picture to Baara. I was like, bro, you are fucking stupid. I'm not going to say what the title says. But it took me by surprise, bro. This guy, Baara, is a fucking clown.
Nah, Baara, you're such a troll, man. You're such a troll.
He's been trolling Mello for like...
When the video is live, Mello gonna see it. I think it goes live Saturday or something.
Listen, chat. My boy, look, I got 70 people in chat right now. Okay, look, subscribe, like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. My boy Baara is a little salty because he lost the debate.
Spotify as well.
It's all good. It's all
Oh
good.
yeah, I caught a little bit of that debate. That was kind of heated. I'm not gonna lie. Sarada versus Kawaki. That was kind of crazy.
It was fun. Look. Baara, it's all respect, it's all love. It's just trying to entertain you guys, have a good time.
Of course.
Definitely follow my boy ItsMeek. For all the people in the channel, of course, Baara B FreeGame. The podcast is on Spotify. Of course, follow your boy Mello as well.
But what were we talking about before that? Talking about Kishimoto?
Talking about the chapter, how we felt about it. It took a spill over to Kishimoto because we don't know if he's the one writing it, but that's besides the point. As Mello said.
Yeah.
Doesn't it tell you who's writing the chapter on the cover?
I mean, yeah,
it just says supervised by Kishimoto. It doesn't say written by or script writer. That's gone, because the script writer, it used to say Kodachi, but now that's gone because he left, right? Or he got fired. I don't know what happened there, but as they switch writers, it's just a script supervised by Kishimoto and then illustrated by Ikimoto. So we don't even know. There's no credited writer for Boruto right now. So it's just assumed that it's Kishimoto because there was like one announcement that he was gonna write it. But like I feel like we'll get a better idea if like Kishimoto's really writing this next year. Right, because with like the current arc right now, we have like Boruto going into that karma mode. We have Momoshiki, Kawaki getting his Karma 3 version back, or whatever it's called, Karma 2. Like stuff like that. I feel like he's finally gonna turn things up, and we're gonna see like that crazy Kishimoto pen game that we saw back in Naruto. Because I saw this joke on Twitter. Someone called Kishimoto, like, now that he's like quote unquote writing Boruto, they called him like Jordan, like Wizards Jordan, like he's not in his prime anymore. And it's like, man, like, god damn, y'all roasted Kishi. Like people calling Kishimoto washed and shit. It's like, god damn. Like I really hope like for this past year, as I mentioned before, it was mostly just set up, but these past couple of chapters, I'm not gonna lie, fire. Like it's been gas. I've been really enjoying the manga right now. I started doing something different now. I stopped looking at the spoilers for the Boruto manga, and honestly my just enjoyments went up like tenfold. Like I just been enjoying just reading the manga and not looking at spoilers at all, and just reading it when the chapter drops. And dude, I get so hyped just reading it because it's like I know when spoilers drop, especially on like Twitter, YouTube, people, it's like the spoilers are really like out of context, right? We get like a couple bullet points explaining, oh, here's something that happened, here's another thing, and it's not really explained in a proper way because it's just these little spoilers, these like screenshots of like some of the manga panels. But once you get the full chapter, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense, right? Like the narrative aspect of something that's being shown, it's explained much more better once you get the full chapter, once you get your hands on it, right? So I mean, like this past Boruto chapter though, Boruto chapter 65, right? I feel like to end off this year, we had a great chapter. I think this was the best chapter that we got this year. Like I just loved the way we had like Momoshiki be going on demon timing, shooting that what's it called, the Rasendan. It's like the spirit gun in a way. Yeah, I just love that, man. So I don't know, like what were your thoughts to what were you guys' thoughts to end off this year for the manga, at least, because we were talking about like earlier.
Would you guys say that is the, I'm sorry, Mello, would you guys say that this was the best chapter of the year, or like the whole manga period, or would you guys give it that?
I would have to give it more thought. I would say no off the top of my head though.
I've said, as soon as I seen the spoilers, I said 100% this is the best chapter since the Ishiki Otsuki versus Baryon Naruto fight. Just the amount of action, the amount of anticipation leading up to this, and of course, again, this right here is essentially the climax of the whole arc that we had this year. I'm not sure if Ida or Damien's gonna get involved, but essentially this is the climax. This is what the whole year actually built up to. So of course, I'm just gonna personally have to say it's the best one.
I think the year, best of this. Sorry, Mello. The best of the year, or the best the best chapter thus far?
Best of this. I would say best of this year.
Yeah, best of this year.
That's what I would give it that too. Okay, cool.
Best of this far, best in the manga. I would still have to give that to like chapter 47, 48 with like Kash and Koji and Ishiki, because that's just like a personal favorite of mine. But I mean, for this year at least, yeah, hell yeah, Boruto chapter 65 was gas in my opinion. I know some people had a problem with like Shikamaru, but it's like he's gonna get bodied by like Code. But I feel like whenever we get to next chapter, I know people were complaining about, oh, Shikamaru, Naruto were useless, but once we get to Boruto chapter 66, they're gonna like turn up for sure. Because we got like Kawaki, he's gonna team up with Naruto. We have Momoshiki, he's with Code. We're most likely gonna get like a 2v2 with like Shikamaru as an assist. Maybe Sasuke pulls up. So definitely things are turning up for the manga. It's looking better now that we've had a lot of setup, and now it's starting to pay off. Especially once like Damon wakes up, man, that's gonna be raps. Because his ability is so broken, you know?
I think for me, it'll be Boruto chapter 64. Mostly because, of course, you know, just how the landscape is. Like, we know Naruto and Shikamaru are on the way, and then, like the hype and anticipation for like Sage Mode Naruto, like post Kurama, like that was pretty big hype.
Yeah,
This is the first time we're really seeing like Boruto turn up, not Borushiki, not Momoshiki, but like Boruto really turning up. And then his battle with Code, it really does showcase. This was the first chapter I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Like I'm starting to like Code. Like he was kind of swaggy, he was moving different, talking different, walking different. So I kind of like that aspects of it. Getting more information about the Karma Seal, I think that was more impactful than this chapter as well, 65. And also like just the stuff with Kawaki and his interactions with Boruto, I think all of that kind of came together. You know, the tension, the landscape, the hype. I think Boruto chapter 64 for me personally was the best. Now, of course, look, we've seen Borushiki turn up before. We saw that in chapter 65. It's cool, but it's nothing new, right?
Yeah.
But Boruto turning up, Karma V3, the knowledge pool of the Otsutsuki.
That's gas. Yeah.
So 64 for me.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I would definitely say that's the second best for me as well. Like, this is the second best following 65. But yeah, Boruto accessing like true essence. I call it the true essence karma form. With him accessing like Momoshiki's combat experience, getting this humongous amp to the point where Boruto's like 6 pass god tier, like Naruto was like from the war. Like it's crazy that Boruto already has reached this power level. Because I know people have a lot of problems with like the power scaling of Boruto, but Boruto at this point is like in all honesty, he's basically comparable to like his father from like the 4th grade ninja war with like 6 pass sage mode and shit. The fact that he can access Momoshiki's powers, which basically make him like relative basically to every he's basically stronger than every Kara member except like Code and Jigen, if you want to make that argument. But it's like, dude, Boruto is so overpowered right now, and with Kawaki gaining like the Karma 3 version with like the horn and shit, it's like, dude, the power levels are only getting higher once again. Like I don't think we're gonna get like Baryon mode Ishiki levels for a while, but it's getting back to that level. To be honest with you, I didn't think it would get like I thought like with Naruto getting nerfed, Sasuke losing his Rinnegan, I thought we would get just like it would like the scaling would go down a lot, but it seems like the writers are going in the opposite direction, just increasing the power levels just tenfold, man. It's crazy.
I think with Boruto tapping into that level of power, I think you're absolutely right. I think I scaled him way higher than like Naruto from Shippuden, in my opinion. But
where do you scale him?
That, like me, Jesus, I have a whole video talking about this. So I scale Code weaker than Jigen because of the limiters, but I think he's stronger than either on the same tier or stronger than 6 pass Naruto because he wanted to fight him post Delta battle. And of course, Kawaki asked Amato if Naruto, who still had 6 pass at the time, could defeat Code. I believe I have to look back into that specifically, but Amato said no, basically. So I think Code is probably stronger than 6 pass Naruto, weaker than Jigen, and Boruto was giving him that work a little bit. Like he was leading the battle in chapter 64, so I think he definitely scales within the same team.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But the whole thing with Naruto, me, Baara, and FreeGame had like a whole conversation talking about like the power scaling in part 1, like, you know, do we think it's a little ridiculous or something of that sort? And I thought that was an interesting conversation. We are still in part 1, and he's already surpassing his father at the ass end of Shippuden. That's fucking insane.
That's
so, like,
nuts.
I just didn't want the series exactly, bro. Like, I didn't want the series to lose its identity because I don't want us to be like Dragon Ball Z, where we destroy entire galaxies with a single clash of our fists type nonsense. I wanted us to kind of stay rooted a little bit, but it looks like that's not the case. We'll have to see.
Yeah, because
I see what you mean.
Yeah, what are you saying, Bar?
Now I was just gonna say, but the overall conversation of the chapters, I personally would put the chapters you guys were talking about. I'll probably put that probably second behind, of course, the recent chapter 65. Honestly, the third one that I honestly put would probably be Borushiki versus Sasuke. That chapter right there was the first chapter of 2021.
Oh yeah,
it was a hard hitter because of course it was Boruto versus Sasuke, and of course Sasuke was gonna have to back up his words by saying that he'd actually be willing to kill Boruto. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was because that was the first time we saw like, well, Sasuke got his Rinnegan like shanked out. His Rinnegan went poke, right? So it was gone. It was like, damn, what is Sasuke gonna do now? And I remember after Sasuke lost his Rinnegan, mad people were making theories like, yo, is he gonna get it back? Did he use like Izanagi? And did he like sacrifice his Sharingan? Like there was mad theories for it. Like I remember when that happened. I remember when the spoilers dropped when that happened, the fandom went like upside down. People were losing their shit. Sasuke fans were on suicide watch. Dude, it was bad. Like, yeah.
Mom had to take me to intensive care.
Yeah, it was bad. Like when the spoilers dropped for that, people were so angry because like, oh my god, Sasuke, he's not supposed to lose. But it's like, damn, like it was crazy, man. I was so like, it was like insane. People were just losing their mind after seeing that. I think that was the chapter before, but it was still insane when we got Momoshiki versus Sasuke and Kawaki as well.
That was a dark moment, a dark day.
Yeah.
Nah, it was really a dark day for the Sasuke fans. Remember, he was coming off the heels of getting absolutely embarrassed by Ishiki.
Yeah, he was getting destroyed.
Yeah, like every episode, every upload that Baara did, he made sure that he put a panel in there, or I'm sorry, a scene in there with Sasuke getting his face kicked into the ground. Like, I'm like, bro, you trolling, aren't you? Because it's like every video that he uploaded, it was Sasuke getting his face kicked into the ground. Like,
oh, and the clips, right? Like when he shows in the videos.
Yeah, the clips that he was playing.
That's tough. Yeah, that man wrote
the best arc. Sorry. Just
what do you mean best arc? What are you saying?
The best arc of the year. Did we go through that yet? Because I had to step downstairs. I'm sorry. So
no, we didn't go through. We didn't go through that yet. Are you referring to the manga or the anime?
How many arcs have we had?
The anime. Sorry.
Well, the anime
you could really all kind of sum it up into one arc.
Yeah.
And specifically the fights. I'd have to go with the Jigen fight.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say that the best arc of the series then.
Best arc of the series? Well, yeah, we're all gonna say like Kawaki arc or whatever it's called.
But I got a question though. In regards to the next year, because we ended off this year, we're going to the next year. What's your prediction for Boruto 2022?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. For the anime or the manga?
For I guess both.
For both.
But manga first. I think manga is like the.
Yeah, we're on the topic of manga right now, so.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the turn-up year for Code in the manga, honestly, bro. Like.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, it has to be, man.
He's getting washed right now. Yeah,
He's
Kawaki got his power up. I see Code being next. So I think this is going to be Code's year. Like how it was Jigen's year. Jigen had his big moment. I think Code's about to get his big moment.
Facts. Because I feel like Boroshiki's going to use Code in a way. Because he did say like, yo, let's team up to take down Naruto, right? I feel like whenever we do get that fight, whether it's next chapter in the following months, right? I feel like if let's say Momoshiki like gets washed by Naruto, right, and we have like Code running to Amato, I really want to see Code get his limiters off. I think that would be huge for the plot because obviously right now he's not even Momoshiki level. He was getting destroyed by him. We don't like maybe Code is probably stronger than Naruto, but let's see. Like we don't know how strong this Sage Mode Naruto is. Maybe he got even stronger. But if Code does get his limiters off, I would love to see what it looks like, what abilities he does have, because with his karma, he can't even absorb jutsu. That was revealed last Boruto chapter. His karma is basically a dud. It's like a knockoff karma seal, which he can't even absorb jutsu. There's no abilities to it. It's just pure power, right? And if with those limiters on, I imagine once he takes them off, he will have access to those Otsutsuki powers, and maybe he'll have like additional abilities with his claw marks. I would love to see that, man, because I hope Kishimoto goes through with this character. I hope he doesn't get like axed. I hope he doesn't get like written out quickly out of the story, because that would be a disappointment. I really want to see Code become that guy, because right now it's like I'm starting to warm up to him. I like how the latest chapters have been like emphasizing on his presence. I do like it, but at the same time, I can't really take him too seriously because he's more or less just like a Ishiki cocksucker. He just like rides Ishiki's balls all day. Like he's like, oh my god, Ishiki, oh my god. Like he's just a fanboy, right? I feel like he needs to like evolve from that, because it's just hard to take someone that seriously who's just like Ishiki stan, you know. It's like, man, like, you know, get over it, right? And I mean, that has to be like the one thing that I hope he gets over, because right now his entire motive is just to follow Ishiki's will and take his revenge for get vengeance for Ishiki's killers. So I just hope we get some more out of Code, where it's like, yeah, he's really that guy. He's really that villain. Like you feel what he is, because more or less he's just a, you know, an Ishiki fanboy at the end of the day.
I think just moving in the future, I want to see more from the Otsutsuki. I think they need to start to flesh out a little bit more. Maybe those Otsutsuki that was on that stone tablet scratched out. Maybe we can kind of incorporate a little bit more information about that. I'm also excited for Amato.
Yep.
You know, is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? What's his planning? What is he planning? You know, just some more information. I would be interested maybe in like a Shikamaru death arc to where he's maybe investigating Amato and maybe he dies towards the towards the end of that arc. I think that would be pretty interesting. Shikamaru, he was on the rooftop having a smoke. Kids don't smoke. Having a smoke with Amato, and I think they were kind of I think there's some seeds there that they can kind of plant something interesting plot wise. I'm also interested in those little secret abilities of Ada's and Damon's that she didn't want to relate to Code.
Yeah.
Like Meek was saying, Code, he's such a tragic character because to me he's still just a child being manipulated by authority figures. He's basically inducted into this cult of personality to all my CM Punk fans. He's inducted into like this cult with Ishiki where he has no real motivations of his own. Of course, we've addressed this, and I would love to see him kind of grow and blossom into his own person. I think that'd be interesting as well.
Exactly.
And you know, maybe some kind of further resolution or information about Momoshiki and Boruto situation. I think that'd be also pretty interesting as well. And just moving forwards, where do we go? Like, are we closer to the time skip or are we further away? Me personally, just thinking about it from this perspective now, in this moment, another year of Boruto Part 1 content seems a little much to me, but then I factor in the pacing of the monthly release, and I can definitely see it happening. 12 chapters or maybe.
Yeah. I feel that for sure. Like, I know people wanted the time skip to happen earlier this year, but considering how slow the chapters have been dropping, for me at least, I think the time skip will happen like next year, like in 2023, considering how slow these chapters are being dropped, maybe toward the end of this year, because I feel like this arc is being like I wouldn't say dragged out, but there's a lot of information being presented to us. So I feel like we're gonna go like really deep into that because Kishimoto or whoever's writing Boruto is taking his damn time with moving the pacing of the plot, right? So I mean, I feel like this current arc is the last arc before the time skip, and I think this will take some time. Yeah, me too, because I mean, we've gone through so much shit. Like, I thought after the Ishiki saga, we would get into the time skip, but with Code, Ida, and Damon, we're definitely gonna get more. We're gonna get more information with them, and we're gonna see like the abilities that Ida and Damon said, as you said before. I definitely think we'll get more into that next year, and we're gonna spend a lot of time on that. And I feel like it comes down to, honestly, the time skip will come down to Boruto's karma seal, because the extraction point, it's extracting on his body, he's 80% right now, and these drugs, I made a video on this yesterday, like the efficacy of it really isn't good for like the long term. In the short term, it may like stop it, because the anime said it's gonna slow it down, but we saw like Momoshiki, he came out because of those meds that Boruto was taking. I feel like that's gonna set up like we need something that will slow down the process for us to jump into the time skip, because we can't just go into like 2-3 year we can't go into a 2-3 year time skip and not expect the karma seal to process to like 100% and Momoshiki to resurrect, right? So that's the one thing that needs to be addressed before we go into the time skip. Like, how is that going to be slowed down or stopped before we go into that 2-3 year jump? Because if that doesn't get addressed, Momoshiki could just resurrect in the next, I don't know, next couple of months in the Boruto timeline, you know?
Yeah, let me throw
I
a
was
fun
watching
idea
your
at you.
video and you stated that I'm sorry about that, Melo. I keep on cutting you off, Melo. I do apologize, bro.
Yeah, you good.
I was watching your video, Meek, and you made a statement. You said that you think that you say you think that Boruto is going to actually stop taking those pills.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like he might abandon them.
So yeah, facts. So what do you think? I had like a crazy idea. Do you guys think that, you know, Mitsuki somehow is the key to him not awakening anymore or anything like that? Because Mitsuki, they always at the beginning of the series they was playing on Mitsuki being his moon, I think it was. Am I not mistaken? The moon, and then Boruto is like the sun, so they have like some type of connection. I don't know if Orochimaru got something going on or what's going on behind the scenes, but do you think like Mitsuki is going to play some type of key on helping Boruto with his battle against Momoshiki, like his inner battle against Momoshiki, or do you think that this like has nothing to do with it?
I think it's more
to me-
symbolic than anything.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't. Again, I think it's probably not going to be the case. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, because here's the thing. Mitsuki was put into the series like essentially, champion, as you said, the whole sun and the moon thing. I mean, one of the things that we do understand that Boruto is kind of afraid of is going to sleep. If Mitsuki could kind of be Boruto's eyes and like when the moon's out or something like that, trying to protect him against Momoshiki and make sure that he doesn't necessarily get his body hijacked. I think it could easily become a situation where of course Mitsuki is like the rock that Boruto leans on, aka the moon, essentially. But I'd still have to lean on it's probably not going to be the case. I think Mitsuki has need elsewhere instead of just being completely always connected to Boruto. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Yeah, for me at
If
least.
everybody says the Jogan, I would just try to throw something else out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Jogan as well, because I mean the Jogan is definitely something that's being saved up post time skip. I don't think that's gonna be shown anytime soon in part 1, because part 1 has really been emphasizing on the Karma Seal itself. We saw like Jigen, Boruto, Kawaki Code, them use that main power up, which has like been emphasized over and over again. This is like a main plot line for both main characters in Boruto and Kawaki. So I imagine once we get to post time skip, that whole like toneri about him helping Boruto awaken the Jogan. Maybe we'll get some dreams of Boruto. Maybe Boruto will have like some dreams with like toneri in the eye, because that was shown in the very beginning of the Boruto anime. Maybe that will make an appearance in the manga. But for the most part, it's a tough position to say what will stop it or slow it down. I definitely don't think Momoshiki will like 100% resurrect and just kill Boruto in the process. I think that would be insane for the storyline. Maybe it could happen, but Boruto is like the main character. I don't think they're just gonna kill him off like that. Maybe they do, and he like, I don't know, resurrects again somehow. Because I know Boruto did like make a theory, or Kawaki made a theory that Boruto should like give Code a karma so he can resurrect in case Momoshiki kills him. Like that would be crazy, but I don't know. That's just a theory. It's just a hypothetical. Which like Boruto did. He kind of like turned that down, so we don't even know. It's just so hard to put in. But what do you say, Bar?
I was just saying, to be honest, it's a good idea to potentially even give Mitsuki a karma seal, because he himself is kind of replicatable. We understand there's multiple Mitsukis, and Orochimaru has a tool to actually transfer memories to a different Mitsuki. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's actually the actual remedy.
Yeah, I think something
that's a good one, though.
Yeah,
something cool that would happen. So in Naruto Shippuden, Naruto, when he had to master Kurama's power, right, he had to go to that waterfall in that specific sacred area that Killer B took him to. I think it would be really cool if we maybe had something like that, where like Boruto goes back to that area, paying homage to the original series, where he has to face his inner darkness, but instead his inner darkness is Momoshiki. And then maybe through that they can kind of come to some kind of consensus, or maybe some other type of location to where he can spend the time skip landscape, the training portion of it, training in that specific area where it's not really progressing things, which would something similar to like Ishiki's Daikokuten dimension where time doesn't flow. I found that interesting, that specific language, time doesn't flow. I think something interesting, like if I don't know, hypothetically, Kawaki with this new karma and new abilities, he can use the Daikokuten, puts Boruto in that dimension where time doesn't flow, and he fucking trains in that dimension or something of the sort. I think that's some interesting, unique, new ideas if we're not trying to go with the Jogan. So I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yo, I forgot to ask, like, with Kawaki gaining that new karma last Boruto chapter, is that Ishiki's eye? I've seen a lot of debate over it.
We was arguing about that, yeah.
Because
I don't think it's his eye.
I don't think
his
so.
eye
I think
looks
it's
completely
a
different.
Byakugan.
You think it's a Byakugan with like a drawing error or like some shine on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that.
I just don't think it's the Ishiki, as we said. It doesn't look like Ishigo Tsuski's Dojutsu. I personally believe it's a scientific technology. I've always said, well, I've recently said this. I think it was like this whole mission of Kawaki going out to seek out Code, I think it was like a solo mission. Kawaki got the Karma Seal because he wanted to potentially fight against Code, and understood that his second stage of the Karma Seal, or V3 that you guys like to call it, wouldn't necessarily be good enough to defeat Code. So he essentially went to Amado and said, "Yo, let me get a 2-for-1 special. Give me a scientific technology dojutsu along with the Karma Seal, so I can go out and actually defeat Code by his own son."
Why do you think he would ask specifically for a dojutsu though? Like, I feel like if you wanted something,
it's a way to get stronger.
A scientific eye, like why not just do the entire body itself? That's kind of been the thing with his character, not really
his whole body is basically a scientific tool though. Like I think the eye would give him, you know, that edge. So I don't see why not. Why wouldn't he ask for a scientific eye?
Well, I'm not saying like he wouldn't, but I'm saying like if I'm Kawaki and I'm asking for like some tech upgrade, I suppose the eye is plausible, but like,
or maybe he didn't even ask for it. Maybe Amado just gave it to him.
No, what we have to understand is that Kawaki can't go through some full body transformation. Remember, this was a covert mission. Kawaki wasn't supposed to be noticed leaving the village. He thought his shadow clone could do the trick and actually, you know, keep everybody calm. I personally just believe that Kawaki understood that he would need to gain a certain level of power very quickly, and the dojutsu was probably a lot easier than, of course, modifying his whole body.
Well, I think it's okay. So, just based on what we know, is that a Byakugan? I would say based off of the illustration, based off of how I've seen his normal eyes drawn versus what I've seen, because I think FreeGame did a comparison. I would say I think it's the Byakugan. I think that's more likely than anything. Now, of course, the Byakugan is Ishiki's eye, of course, but it's not Ishiki's nameless dojutsu. So is it the dojutsu? Obviously not. It doesn't look anything like it, so I think we can put that to bed. Now, is it a scientific ninja tech eye or something? Now we're getting some theories, something of that sort. I think it's possible. If it is, I think it'll be fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's where
I saw some theories like that eye that he has, since it has like a little triangle. People were saying like this is like 1/8 of Ishiki's dojutsu because Ishiki's eye is like a Dharma wheel and it has triangles in it. But I feel like that's too much of a reach. I thought it was Ishiki's eye like when the chapter came out, but hearing your guys' reasons, yeah, I can. It's more or less likely a Byakugan with like some shine in it, or like a drawing error. But yeah, I think that's what it is.
I don't think.
Somebody in my chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bar. Before
I was just saying. Just me personally, I don't think that's realistic because let's keep it 1,000. Ishiki, well, not Ishiki. Jigen himself been an Otsutsuki member for over 1,000 years, and he himself never gained the Byakugan. So I just personally don't think it's realistic for Kawaki to all of a sudden up and actually, unlock a Byakugan. I don't think that's the case.
Okay. I mean, maybe because he's like 80% Otsutsuki in his DNA, so maybe that's like the trigger of it. But we'll see when the chapter drops.
What will be like the most logical conclusion though? Like, it's a Byakugan or it's like scientific ninja tech? Like, which one would make the most sense to you?
I think. For me, I'll say Byakugan because he's 80% Otsutsuki. It's in his DNA at this point.
It's more evidence that it's a Byakugan to me.
Like every Otsutsuki seems to have a Byakugan. That's like a trademark for the Otsutsuki. Like Hyuga.
I'm just saying again. This man Jigen was 100% for over 1,000 years, and he didn't have a.
That's true.
Yeah, but the thing is that his DNA, he didn't have the Otsutsuki DNA. Ishiki was just controlling his brain. Yeah, he was just controlling his brains. He didn't have the DNA.
No, Ishiki gave Jigen the Karma Seal, so he had his DNA.
Oh, that is true.
Do you think that the Karma
My bad.
Seal is a little bit different though, just based on like the placement and stuff like that?
Maybe because Kawaki's a perfect vessel. Maybe that's why.
Probably, you never know. Yeah,
I mean, how less perfect can you be to last for 1,000? I don't know, bro. That's one thing that I think was a little bit.
Yeah, that's a weird detail. That should have been explained.
Like, a little bit weird. Like, how can you last for 1,000?
And he was alive too. Like, Jigen was alive for 1,000 years. Like after his fight against Naruto and Sasuke, he was crying. Like tears were coming out. Like
human at that.
Yeah.
I don't think we can contribute that to like the human. That's all Ishiki.
Yeah.
All that.
No, but Ishiki was talking. No. Ishiki was talking to Jigen.
In his mind, yeah.
He said he was crying. Yeah, he was talking to Jigen. Like, you're a worthless vessel. Like.
Well, let me ask you this question then, Chris. Let me ask you this question. What's more plausible? Jigen, this random human monk, has some inherent ability that makes him special enough to live for many years, or it's the Otsutsuki inside of his body allowing him to do so. What's more probable?
Nah, it's mostly Ishiki. Definitely the Otsutsuki.
Definitely.
I think that's the answer.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Cause like he
Okay,
legit.
So somebody in the.
What are you saying?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Go ahead. No.
Yeah, like what I was like, well, I came to the conclusion that like Ishiki, since he was like feeding his like nutrients into Jigen, like he absorbed like his like DNA inside of him. That's how he was able to like keep Jigen alive for that many years. Was it the other way around?
Ishiki feeding on Jigen's?
Oh yeah, it was the other way around. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it was the other way around. Yeah.
Just making sure I wasn't.
Yeah, that's how Ishiki like managed to stay alive for that many years, because he could just take in Jigen's nutrients, and that somehow kept Jigen alive. I would think that would kill him, but I guess that's how the series.
Storytelling.
Yeah, it's weird.
A weird ass comparison. You guys remember the SpongeBob episode?
Yeah, with Plankton. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That's literally it. That's literally the same thing.
All right. So somebody in my chat asked. I think it was like a super interesting question. So I wanted to ask you guys. He said, "What if the Jogan makes Boruto a more superior Otsutsuki in rank to Momoshiki, which means that Momoshiki can't be revived in Boruto." So Boruto basically, since he has a Jogan, he's a superior. Like, how they respect ranks, and higher Otsutsukis, get more respect than the lower Otsutsukis, blah blah blah, that type of thing. So what if Boruto's Jogan makes him a higher ranking Otsutsuki than Momoshiki, which means Momoshiki wouldn't resurrect themselves inside of Boruto's body, because they have like rules and stuff they have to follow. Like, for instance, when Urashiki didn't kill Toneri, but instead he sealed him away because he said it's against the laws of the Otsutsuki to kill another Otsutsuki member. How do you guys feel about that?
I see what you're saying. So I think that's a great question. With that, so I think when it comes to sacrifices, I don't think sacrificing is the equivalent of death. So I don't think like rewriting a vessel is the equivalent of like death either. I think killing someone's killing someone. Sacrificing is a different thing from killing them, which is why Momoshiki can sacrifice Ishiki's vessel, and so on and so forth, or vice versa. And I think taking over an Otsutsuki's body is probably outlawed in general. However, Boruto wasn't an Otsutsuki when he was chosen as a vessel. He only became that because of the Otsutsukification process, that mechanic. So to say that Momoshiki and Otsutsuki can't take over his vessel, who was originally not an Otsutsuki but now is one because of Momoshiki, and his vessel gets the that doesn't make sense to me. Momoshiki saw the Jogan before he placed the karma on Boruto. If that was some kind of law he couldn't abide by, he would have never made him his vessel to begin with. So I think that debunks that question. But great question though.
Dope question. Anthony Henry, by the way, asked that question.
Shout out Anthony. But yeah, and just ending off with the manga, what would you rate this year the Boruto manga out of 10? I want to hear you guys thoughts.
The manga, I'd give it 10 out of 10.
Damn. I'm pretty critical of this year.
I'd give it a 6.
Same. I'd give it a 6 too.
See, we talked about it. The thing about the Boruto manga. It was a clear difference between 2020 Boruto manga and 2021 Boruto manga. 2021 Boruto manga, for a large portion of the year, it just felt like a weekly manga that was coming out every single month. It just didn't have the same oomph to it, didn't have the same feel to it. Now I understand they introduced a lot of good characters. They introduced Damon, they introduced Ida, but one thing that we do have to understand is that Boruto fans, we love the action. Just sitting around talking about the plot, that doesn't necessarily get us excited about the manga. We got to see some action, and 2021 gave that to us. Well, it didn't give it to us, but 2020 definitely did give it to us.
What did we get in 2021 significantly, though?
Yeah, what did we exactly get? Like
yeah, that's what. All right, I was like,
we got Cole versus some security men.
What?
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of fire. I'm not gonna hold you.
Damon destroyed some people.
Wait, we got more than that. That wasn't it.
No, we got Sasuke versus the Borushiki.
Yeah.
We got the tail end of that, and then we got like, after that we got like exposition from characters from like Ida, Damon, Code.
That's why I got 6 points.
Yeah, and then like,
I'm gonna have to go on Viz.
Oh, we got Kurama's death. Oh yeah, we got Kurama's death as well. Let's not forget about that. We had
Okay, so we got the Ishiki fight this year then.
well, no, this is after
No.
Ishiki died. So this is
January 20th was Sasuke versus Momoshiki.
yeah, that's the first chapter that dropped this year. Yeah,
Damn.
and so
Okay, so never mind. Let me drop that down to like a 6 or 7. Yeah.
yes,
Man had a
yeah.
With that.
Bro said 10. Yeah, he said 10 with your chest. I mean, last year was a 10. Last year was a 10 for sure. 2020 was a
It's been
10.
going by that slow. I really been reading it every month. If it's really been that slow.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That
Yeah.
shit is so slow.
Yeah,
That's
the
crazy.
pacing is so slow, man. It's hard to keep up. Like, I'm so jealous of people who just binge Boruto.
Yeah, for real. We got the only thing that's significant that we got was the casket. I think not the casket. Whatever Amado has in that case, which we have not heard from since that chapter's been revealed. But I think that's the most like hype thing that we got. Like, what's in there?
I mean,
what is he making? What
yeah,
kind
in
of psych
terms,
ward is he making?
yeah. Like, in terms of like what we got this year, we got what Momoshiki versus Sasuke, Konohama's death, Ida, Code, and Damon's introduction into the story, Boruto accessing the karma, whatever it's called, the true essence karma form, and then Kawaki with that new karma seal, and what's the name, Naruto going to sage mode. That's really it. We didn't get much this year. It was more or less setup, and I mean the setup is good, but I think it all depends on the execution of the setup after, and we are just going into that. So yeah, like for me it's like a 6 out of 10. It's just exposition and it's just plot that the characters are talking about. We're just starting to move the plot right now toward the end half of the year. This is where like next year I feel like that's where things are gonna really turn up, because we already have everything established. It all depends on the execution of the setup, you know.
I would say I would say 5 out of 10 if I'm going to give it a rank. 5 out of 10, and that would be average to me. Like 6 would be above average, 5 is just average. Now that you guys kind of like put it all on the table like that, and I can kind of see what I'm looking at. Yeah. I was gonna give it like a 7 or 8, but you're absolutely right. Like, fuck, we can get shit this year. And I think that kind of
the anime's been better than the manga.
Yeah, the anime killed it. Oh my god.
God damn.
That's because of Kodachi's work. That was Kodachi's work too. That wasn't Kishimoto.
Yeah,
anime's fire. But yeah, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to talk crap about the manga and say, I mean, we used to talk crap about the anime and
like read the manga. Yeah, now it's watch the anime.
The anime does everything better to me. Everything.
That is
like,
facts.
The music, obviously the music, but like just the whole, even like Sarada and her like 3 tomo, like they just actually made that a thing, like a plot point. Like manga just did the shit. Like
they just skipped it over.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's let this matter, right? Like I think that's really impactful. The stuff with the Baryon mode Naruto, how I actually love that. Like, I hated Baryon mode from the manga. That shit was so lame to me. Like the whole jacket, like cloak, cape, tail. I was like, this shit trash, bro. I thought it would look cooler with like the sage mode, except like with the face paint, like the little parts on the face without the tail thing. I thought that would have been looking fire, but the anime made that shit dope. So
yeah,
the anime to me,
the anime literally like enhances the manga. It enhances the story like tenfold. Yeah. From what we get from the manga, and it's just like so like rewarding to watch, because like we know what's coming, but also like the additional scenes we get, it feels like we were like a new watcher that like is anime only, right? So it kind of rewards like both sides of being an anime only and like a manga reader. So that's like the fun thing about watching the anime.
Didn't the anime like touch on like Amado's box, like when he was about to defect to Konoha with Kachi and Koji?
Yeah,
they actually touched.
Yeah, they actually talked about it.
Oh
they did.
Shit. And that's
like,
kind of where we were.
This is all I need. Yep.
Yeah, that's where we were in the manga too. So I thought it was really cool how they kind of like paralleled that, and they even brought it like this plot point where like Sarada in the tuning exams talking about she wants to defeat Boruto or stop Boruto, kind of like what Sasuke wants to do.
Right.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is really impactful. Yeah. And not to mention like the side characters like Chocho elevating Iwabe. Iwabe didn't do shit, my bad.
Oh, Iwabe was garbage. Yo, Baara, I feel bad for your boy. We know that video you made.
Oh,
yeah.
No, Kawaki didn't do shit, my bad.
Oh yeah, Kawaki got bodied.
Dope shit.
I feel like Mello is just picking at Baara right now.
Yo, that's gotta be the worst episode this year though. That Iwabe versus Wasabi.
Bro,
that shit was ass.
Episode. I was mad. Like,
yo, I was mad as hell.
My life.
Facts.
I could have did something better with that 20 minutes.
Fair enough.
I'd rather see Iwabe in that situation than see my favorite character Sarada get absolutely bodied by Kawaki without a karma seal.
What are you talking about?
What?
Hey, look. Hey,
This guy is
Boruto
my
literally
God.
saved her life.
my point
Boruto
stands, bro.
literally saved
Hey,
her
go watch my
life.
video on it. My point stands.
Oh,
Bro,
man.
you gotta let this go, bro. You gotta stop bringing this up.
We still talking about that
Somebody
debate?
Baara.
I have let it go. Kawaki has a full-blown karma seal, a new dojutsu. The discussion is dead. Like, let's keep it a G.
He let
I don't
it
even
go,
think
but
that's
he always mentions it. Okay.
Yo, Sarada not stronger than Boruto. Sarada not stronger than Kawaki. Sarada not stronger than Mitsuki. Like, who is he stronger than? Like, what are you talking about?
Konohamaru?
those
Konohamaru?
Let's
Hey,
This is terrible.
literally nobody at all. And then Barbie's like, oh, Sarada's better. Kawaki's better than Sarada. Like, nobody even.
No one
said
asked.
anything about that, bro.
talking about Kawaki, Sarada.
Oh, man.
We know why Mello coming at me. It's because I take slight shots at Sarada. So of course, if you want to take slight shots
Hey,
at
look.
Iwabe, I'll just say I'd rather take that L than the L Sarada's taking.
What?
Nah,
What?
no, hell no, bro. What the fuck? He beat the ground and then made a big ass cat and then fucking passed out.
Right.
That was, what did he do? All he did was scream.
Yeah, that was some
Like,
bullshit.
come
I'm
on,
not
bro.
gonna lie. That was like really bad. They turned that into a gag.
I love Wasabi though, like the whole cat god avatar.
Nah,
suit,
that was cool.
chocolate cloak.
That was cool.
That
Oh
shit
yeah, that was dope.
That was fire.
It was
Side character?
putrid.
That was fire.
Cut the
For a
malarkey.
side
It was
character?
putrid. It was
It was
putrid.
putrid.
Nah, bro, that was good. It was good.
Nah, the idea of it is pretty dope.
I like it.
Shinky
the
versus
episode was
Kawaki
trash.
was putrid. That was what putrid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
I
kinda
was.
wanted
This-
more from that.
What about, how do you guys feel about this? So I forget who dropped this video, but it was a video basically, since we're talking about Sarada, Kawaki, and Boruto, about Sarada having to strike down Boruto eventually. Remember how Sasuke brought it up, like, if time ever comes, would you have the strength or would you have the resolve to take down Boruto? If that ever happened, like, I know, Boruto's on another level now, but how do you guys see that, like, working out?
Thing is, you're gonna have
Do
to.
you think that's going to happen in the future? Like, do you
I
think
mean-
that's going to be something that happens in 2022? Something that we're going to see?
I mean,
Like, where
Sarada's not
they-
even relevant. She's not even relevant in the
No,
manga.
I mean, like, not even.
Oh,
not
in the
even
future?
Just Sarada. I'm just saying, like, his teammates, like, comes to
Oh.
the point where they get to that point where, oh shit, we got to take this dude down.
It could
like,
happen.
Mitsuki,
It could.
Sarada, and all them, like,
It
they go on a
could.
mission or something. He go on a rampage.
No,
Oh,
I'm
here
just saying.
comes Baara.
No. Cut them a lot. Let's keep it a G. If we're talking Mitsuki and Kawaki, okay, maybe they could actually do some damage against Boruto.
This guy.
Nah, they'll get
Come on,
destroyed. They'll get
We're
destroyed.
not in the same stratosphere.
Oh,
Let's keep it.
Damn, Baara's a Sarada
I
hater.
understand what
We got a Sarada hater in the stream.
Holy
Yo,
shit.
How fire would be to get like a Borushiki versus Sarada, Kawaki, and not Momoshiki and Mitsuki? Like,
That'd be
like
heat.
in the anime.
That'd be heat.
That would be
Well,
beyond
you just-
fire.
you-
Holy
That'd
shit.
be so
You
good.
should just essentially say a Borushiki versus Mitsuki and Kawaki. 'cause
Shut up.
Yes.
Yo, you a hater, bro.
Let's get it down.
Can we do a debate without Bora hating for 1 second?
Oh my god, we gotta.
So salty about that debate. Holy shit.
I'll never forget when Boruto was fighting against Shinki in a shooting exam. Shinki killed Sarada en route to actually beating Boruto. Sarada was the first one out of here. Let's keep it G.
But you didn't cheat. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, and Boruto's like the
Boruto
main
wasn't
character.
Boruto wasn't cheating to start off, but let's keep it G. Shinki like destroyed Sarada en route to actually beating Boruto. He understood. Let's get Sarada out easy.
What did he do to Kawaki though?
Hey,
Yeah, he destroyed
He beat
Kawaki.
He beat Kawaki in a one-
And I'm a Kawaki stan too. Like, I love
Yo,
Kawaki, bro.
Nah, he beat Kawaki in a 1v1 when Kawaki had no intel on Shinki. Sarada literally been studying Shinki for months on end and still
Oh,
outbodying in a 2v1. Like, let's keep it G.
This is a way weaker Sarada too. This is a way weaker version of Sarada.
Kawaki got sat down. Kawaki got
all I'm
sat
saying-
down and he stayed down. He didn't even get up. No, there was nobody holding him back. The man just said, he was staying.
What this dude
All
just
I'm-
do to me?
All
put him on
I'm
his
gonna say,
ass.
all I'm gonna say, if Shinki spin back, he dying 100%. It's curtains for Shinky.
Right.
Well, and also all I'm saying, Kawaki is absolutely demolishing. Sorry to put her on the t-shirt. Let's keep it up.
Oh man, this is funny. This is hilarious, dog. Oh.
You know what disappointed me though? I wanted to see fucking Mitsuki versus Boruto.
Yeah, they
Holy
hold us
shit.
out of that. I don't know why they did that. Oh my
Mhm.
god,
That's
that's
Boruto would have got his ass beat. I think.
nah.
I think so.
I think for plot purposes they would have had it like where they would just draw, they would just have a tie. Because like if you look at it like from just a plot perspective, each each Genin team had a Chunin. So like Sarada became Chunin, Wasabi became Chunin, Hoki became Chunin. Each team had at least one Chunin. So I think in a way, if they had Boruto versus Mitsuki, it would have to end off in a tie because then you would have like multiple Chunin on one squad, and Sarada wouldn't be the captain, right? And since they emphasize like even in the manga, Sarada is like the captain of Team 7, I think that would fit. But I guess they just wanted to avoid that because maybe they had like budgeting issues or some shit. So they decided, hey, let's just disqualify Boruto and Mitsuki, even though I think that's BS. I think that we should have still seen that fight. People are still salty over that. I still am. I wish we got that though.
But that fight was after the whole exams. Like they literally met up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yuki versus Joey.
Yeah.
But it was after the exam, so they literally like come on.
They still
let's
fought.
show this.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only reason why they didn't is because they didn't want like it makes sense for Boruto right now without like I honestly think even with Karma v1, I think Mitsuki and Sage Mode is probably going to take that. My
I
only
agree.
contention is
I agree.
Mitsuki has a time limit because his body can't handle that power.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like I think Mitsuki probably would still take that fight.
Yeah, I think there's arguments to be made for sure. But
I definitely think so.
Yeah, that's why we never saw it because they didn't want Boruto to get his ass slapped. So I think that's why.
They need to
get
give
it.
Wanna
Mitsuki that
upset
power
Baara.
up, man. They just gotta give Mitsuki that power up of him being able to actually use Sage Mode because this whole he can't use it, he'll get too injured. It's getting old.
yeah, it's getting some
keep-
BS. It's BS.
Yeah, the power is getting up there. Mitsuki got to get the next step.
Honestly, I think Mitsuki is like Might Guy from like Naruto Part 1, where like Might Guy was always the strongest, baddest motherfucker in that village. We just didn't know at the time. And I think Mitsuki is like really fucking powerful. And I think he's gonna get like different stages of his karma because there's like Sage transformation without the horn. Then he adds the horn on, which is the Sage mode. And I think once his body is fully mature to handle that power, he's gonna unlock a new form, like go from snake to dragon, maybe something like that. I'm not sure, but the whole thing with him is he has the power. He's already that dude. He just can't control it yet. So we'll have to see. Part 2 for sure. Part 2
For sure.
And the crazy thing about Mitsuki is that he's already a synthetic human being. So modifying his body with scientific technology is going to be the easiest out of all of them. I think he could possibly be one of the most overpowered people in the future.
He has to be.
Yeah.
And how is I was talking with my other friends about Sarada. How do you guys think she'll unlock her Mangekyo? Her Mangekyo Sharingan? Because I've seen some debate about it on Twitter as well.
Do we know that she will?
Nah, she has
I
to.
think she has to.
It's a given. It's a given. She's an Uchiha. There's no way
I
she's
think
not
it'll
gonna
be
get
when
it.
Sasuke die.
Damn, that's tough. That
She
If
got his fucking
Sasuke die.
Mangekyo.
She would have to lose somebody. I would say like somebody really close to her. So Sasuke, or when she has to take out, it comes to that point when she has to take out Boruto, just to give her like a give her like a power amp, so it doesn't seem like an ass pull for her to fight against Boruto and be able to like keep up with him.
Yeah.
Just the thought of her having to fight against Boruto, you know how her Sharingan was activated because she was going to go see Sasuke and it's activated. Some way of the sort of the same way, like she has to fight Boruto, and then like the emotions, because she seemed like she opens up her Sharingan, and they say all Uchihas, they open up, they activate their Sharingan in moments of intense hate or moments of intense love. So I say that would be the moment when she unlocks it. Either her father dies and she just breaks down, or it comes to that point where Sasuke was talking about. This is the point where you had to take down Boruto, and that makes her inside of her, like she's going through this internal turmoil, and this the emotions make her unlock that internal. I'm not the internal, but the Mangekyo Sharingan. We have Sasuke die. She takes Sasuke's eye to make it an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. I think that would be the only way that would be possible.
I think something dope with that would be I think the obvious answer is like Sasuke's death, which I do predict at the end of Boruto Part 1, and I think that would be really impactful, especially if it happens.
That'd be crazy. Oh my
god! At the
Y'all
hands
just
of
be
Boruto.
killing characters for no reason.
There's no reason.
Well, there's a reason. There is a reason.
It's not the reason. We're giving reasons.
Like, I think Sasuke's death would move the plot forward in a meaningful way. But
Kishimoto did say that any character is on the table to die. Like
there's no off limits.
So why don't we say yo Kiba going to die? Why we always gotta go to fan favorite Shikamaru?
Who likes Kiba? Kiba's trash.
The most impact. If
Exactly.
If they get rid of Kiba, who really gonna care?
Exactly.
Everybody's gonna feel it, just like Kurama.
We're talking about Sarada's Mangekyo. Like Kiba dies. Like what?
Kiba dies. Yeah, no one would care. No one would care.
Stop the malarkey. Stop the malarkey.
I'm not saying that's how she unlocks her Mangekyo Sharingan. I had a whole different scenario. I like what FreeGame said. I think a situation where Sarada is like actually trying to save somebody from Boruto, and then of course she'd have to fight Boruto a little bit after that. I think that would definitely be a very good scene because
I think that'd be amazing.
We see how she unlocked her second Tomo. She actually saved Boruto from Depot. Imagine if she's saving like Mitsuki or something like that from Boruto. Of course, when he's trying to go rogue or something like that, and she'll have to actually then fight against Boruto. I think that would be a very good time to unlock her Mangekyo Sharingan. Obviously, it'll be short-lived because the Sarada pack will be coming short there.
God, with the hater.
Yo, Saren said Baara's merch should be a Sarada being beat by Kawaki on a t-shirt. Bro, if you want to make some merch, there you go, right there. That's a brilliant idea.
Damn.
No, I can't tell the truth. Oh, Sarada gonna beat Boruto. There you go. That was a lie.
This was your fabricated scenario to get you to the point where you could say that Sarada will get washed. It's not like some truth. It's like a straw man. Look.
I was telling the truth, bro.
I think the fun and like the obvious answer would be like a Sasuke, or like she falls in love and then she does it differently than everybody else, or she gets it from great anger or great death.
That'll be horrible.
I think something fun would be like maybe why don't they just fucking put her under a genjutsu, have her go into certain scenarios that would trigger it, and then she unlocks it that way. Like I think that'd be fucking like why can't we utilize a genjutsu more? Like imagine for a moment, like, okay, we need a like hyperbolic time chamber, but it's a genjutsu. Let's train, I don't know, fucking 10 years in the span of a second. That is an extreme example, but I think if we actually maximize the genjutsu mechanic and where we can use it for training purposes, where, hey, we're going to train and develop these new techniques within the genjutsu. We have years to do this, but in the outside world, maybe like a week passes. I think that would be pretty fun. They already draw so much from the Dragon Ball Z series. I think that'd be an interesting way to utilize it.
Yeah, you do make a point, but I kind of want to piggyback off FreeGame's idea. I think Sarada, if she were to fight like Momoshiki, I think that'd be insane. Like, of course, her current power level, I think we can agree, like, Sarada has like no chance. But if she like realizes, I have to actually.
Wait a minute. Why'd you have to include that Sarada had no chance?
What you mean? What? Because we all know that. That's like facts. Against Momoshiki, we know that she's getting packed up. We know she's.
So why when I say it's a problem?
It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. That's why.
You got history, bro. You got history.
Melo said the exact same thing I said.
Track record, bro.
It's because you're a hater, bro. We're coming from common ground here.
Yeah. But it's like
I'm not sitting there saying Sarada with a Mangekyo is gonna beat Boruto. Fuck no. Like what?
Yeah.
No way. I'm not delusional, but like I think it'd be cool if she had like a time manipulation ability where she can like say like Sasuke dies and then like she turns up and like Momoshiki's like Boroshiki's laughing or some taunting her or some shit. She triggers it and then he goes to kill her, but all of a sudden like he starts to slow down. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
that would be gas.
Matrix bullet time shit.
Yeah, because like Momoshiki has an ability to like slow down time. He can like stop time altogether, right? So that would be like
talking about that. Is that an ability that he has? Is he stopping time for everybody, or is he just stopping time for Boruto himself?
I'm pretty sure it's for Boruto.
Because I'm saying like if he had the ability to I said that completely wrong. If he had the ability to stop time, why didn't he do that in the fight with Sasuke and Naruto and the rest of the Kage? It seemed like that would have been an easy W if he could just stop time whenever he fucking wants.
To me, I interpret that it's not like he's stopping time. It's just like his mind space. Like again, like Itachi.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're in the Tsukunome for like 1,000 fucking hours, and then in the real world, 1 second. Like when it comes to these mental planes, like time moves differently in real time than it does where they are in those mind spaces.
See, here's the thing. I'm not completely sure about that because the last time that, not the last time, but prior to the recent time that she did it, or he did it, Momoshiki, Sasuke seen it, so it wasn't necessarily like it's like some magical space inside their heads. No, Sasuke actually seen it. I just think that he has the ability to potentially stop time just temporarily to actually be somewhere, like just with his presence, not him physically, so he can't necessarily use it in battle, but just his presence. Of course, just like with Boruto, his body was physically dead, but he's able to stop time and actually be there with Boruto.
Bro, the comments are crazy, bro. Baara style is a compliment sandwich. You give Sarada her flowers and proceeds to stomp on them.
What? Hey, yo.
That was my guy who said that. That's hilarious.
That's jokes. That is jokes.
Real quick, guys. Real quick. We got over 60 people in my chat, guys. Remember, follow ItsMeek, FreeGame X. I always say this wrong. FreeGame. On his podcast with Barbie X FreeGame, of course, Barbie's channel as well, and subscribe, like, and share, guys. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks, Mello. We was talking too. We're gonna talk about this off air, but we was thinking about changing the name up. We're gonna talk to you about it, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it off air.
Okay.
Yeah, just like one more thing though. I was like scripting another video and I just want to know your thoughts on it. But I've seen people talk about it before. Naruto Explained made a video on it. How would you guys feel if Boruto and Momoshiki became friends?
Hate it. Worst idea fucking ever. I even commented that on his page. I know exactly what video you're talking about.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. Because should not happen.
Yeah.
I would drop the series.
Same.
You would drop the series?
Nah, for real. I would drop the series too. I would drop the series. I would drop this series faster than Jake Paul would ever drop Tyron Woodley. Like, dude.
Why you gotta do that?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I had to say that. I had to say that.
That was so embarrassing for him.
That was so embarrassing, bro. The second time at that.
Oh yeah, facts.
I feel so bad for that, man.
Yeah, me too. It's Jake Paul too, so it's like a troll.
Jake Paul at that, and this dude is a freaking UFC fighter. I mean,
yeah.
I know UFC and boxing is two different beasts. But still, man, come on.
Yeah.
He can never come back from that.
Never.
Yeah, he's done.
Never.
He's done.
He need to get that tattoo and just call it a wrap.
Oh yeah, he was.
Jake Paul ain't no joke, man.
Nah, he can box. He can box.
But still, bro.
He can definitely box.
4 years worth of experience, but if he goes up against an actual good boxer, he can his ass tour up. But he's going against like UFC fighters who aren't like masters of their trades. They're like the jack of all trades. So like, but if he goes up against a boxer in his weight class, it's a wrap, bro.
Facts.
That's what they've been saying, though.
No. Well, what kind of boxer are we talking about? Because this is the boxer Jake Paul in his fifth fight. Like usually boxers in their fifth fight, they fighting cab drivers and Amazon delivery.
No, but they actually fighting real boxers though. Like they
but not all his fights. His first fight was with a YouTuber though, bro. Like how can we say that? Like come on, like his first fight was a YouTuber.
His second fight was against an NBA player, Nate Robinson, 5'9". Like come on, son. Ben Askren, the worst striker in UFC history. Like come on, son. Like
and then his fourth and fifth fight was Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
So we can't really say that.
I'm not. Yo, Tyron Woodley is a better opponent than most cab
No,
drivers.
yeah, he is.
That's facts. That's facts.
Bro, I hear what you're saying.
Nah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, the thing about Jake Paul, he can't fight regular people. Like he can't fight a random 0-2 boxer. No, he got to fight big names. So
that is true.
You're not gonna get a big name boxer unless they're really good. He's not gonna fight someone that's really good. That makes no sense.
Well, I'm not talking about money wise, but you said he was good. So I'm like, if we're talking about he's a good boxer, I'm saying like, if he fought someone
for a boxer
for an amateur, he's good.
Someone around his age, around his height and his weight class, with around his experience, 4 to 5 years worth of boxing, I think he would lose.
Yeah.
That's why I
Javante
think-
Davis versus Jake Paul. Let's
Well,
do it.
stop
Let's go.
Well,
That would
stop.
not work.
Javante Davis.
That's like
Let's
two
get it,
different
bro.
weight classes.
Let's get it.
Yo,
But he
Yo,
boxed
let's
against
get Jake
Floyd.
Paul.
What's the difference? He
It's
boxed
like
Floyd.
it's like a 50-pound
his
difference.
brother
Different
boxed
weight
against
class.
Floyd. His brother boxed against Floyd. And Floyd
Oh,
is a
okay,
3-year-old.
my bad. Wrong person. Then.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah.
Okay, so what? His brother boxed against Floyd.
I'm gonna say something.
Let's do Javante. What's good?
I think he would
No,
beat
no.
Floyd. I think he would beat Floyd.
What? Jake Paul?
I think he would
Are you
beat
serious?
Floyd. I think he
You
would
gotta
beat
be able to hit.
Wait,
Floyd.
yeah, dude.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, Floyd is a dope technical boxer. He's one of the best to ever do it. But there's something to be said for a motherfucker who's 6'4".
Now we back into another Sarada versus Kawaki debate. Come on.
What,
Well,
Jake?
I'm not
Jake's like
hating.
6'1". He's like 6'1",
Huh?
6 foot,
Okay, what? Is he 6'1" to what?
5'9", I think, 5'8".
Floyd's like 4'5". I don't fucking know.
4 foot
I think
5.
there's something to be said for height. Basically, this is what I'm saying. I think if you took Floyd Mayweather and put him up against like a fucking lumberjack with no fighting experience, I think the lumberjack would fucking murder this.
What,
guy.
in a ring or in a street fight?
in a street fight?
Oh, okay, in a street fight, yes.
Like,
Hey, a lot of boxers will get washed in a street fight.
In a street fight,
Boxing and
yeah.
Street fighting is two different things.
because boxing is like dancing, right? Like when you're in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ring,
yeah.
there's a certain thing you do, but when you out here in the actual world, bro,
There's
like
no holds barred, bro. Like,
Oh, so you say-
boxing has
oh, so you say
rules.
Jake could beat
doesn't
Floyd?
matter.
Oh, so you say
I think
Jake can?
that-
Are you saying Jake could beat Floyd in like a street fight or like in a fist
in a
fight?
street fight, I don't
I
think size has any doesn't matter at all. I've beaten people way bigger than me, but as far as boxing, I
They
think
know how to use
boxing,
it.
yeah, boxing is a different beast though, because size can make a world of a difference. Because
That is true.
Like you're technically fighting, like you got to be able to take those punches and everything. Like so, that's why weight classes matter.
Yeah.
Mello on that 1942, it's too much. You think Jake
Nah.
Paul? Nah. Hey, look, I will say this.
Y'all
Logan
know.
hit.
Definitely on that 1942.
I'll
That's
say
the
this
bottom
though.
one right now.
I'll say this though. Logan hit Jake. Well, I said Logan hit Jake. Logan hit Floyd Mayweather with a right hand, with a right overhand. I think if Jake was in that position, he might have put Floyd out. I ain't gonna.
Oh, yeah,
I
of course.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I just
He got
think
stuck
and
with it.
you also factor in he's old as fuck now, bro. Like you got this young 6 foot something, well, he gotta be over 200 something pounds, right? Like I'm 6 foot and like 180 something. So that dude gotta be like fucking over 200 pounds. He got a reach advantage. He's heavier. He's gonna be younger, so he's moving faster. I mean,
I don't
look.
know. I don't think Mello
Floyd don't
respects
hit that
speed.
hard. Floyd don't hit that
This
hard.
goes back to the Ishiki debate. If you don't respect speed, Floyd is
Yeah, he's a speed
If you're
demon.
too
Yeah,
fast
Floyd.
than Jake Paul, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I'm just
Yeah.
making an argument. I don't know, like,
No,
I ain't
fair
got
enough.
no-
Fair enough.
All I'm saying though,
on it anyways.
all I'm saying though, Jake Paul compared to another boxer, his age, his experience, for example, like Tommy Fury, which he was supposed to fight, and Tommy Fury backed out. I think
Why?
Jake is better than him. He's supposed
He had an injury.
I-
Yeah.
I think he got scared because his family name was on the line. Again, I think Jake Paul is good in regards to that type of talent. But again, I don't expect Jake Paul to come out and say, "Hey, I'm gonna fight the 10th best boxer in a cruiserweight now." Nah, that makes no sense. That makes no sense.
I won't
How we
respect
get on
him
this
until he,
topic? What
until he
the fuck?
fight Javante Davis, bro.
Huh?
So I won't respect him until he fight Javante. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I don't
Javante
think
gets
he-
knocked out by Ryan
he's
Garcia.
a
That's
UFC
a
fighter,
conversation
so-
for a different day.
Yeah, he's fighting washed UFC fighters,
What?
not actual boxers.
I'm
But-
not even gonna get into this debate with
But the
Baara,
thing
so-
is,
anyways.
Oh my god.
What happened to Boruto?
Yeah, we just got
Yeah,
off
that's why I was
topic.
about to bring
Oh,
it
we were talking about
back. I was
Boruto
like,
and Momoshiki.
anyways.
My bad. Boruto, Momoshiki. Yeah, I would drop the series so fast. They become friends. Because the problem is, it's like, it's so cliche. Because we've seen that with the prequel of Boruto with Naruto and Kurama. It's just like the same thing. It would make Boruto just a Naruto 2.0. His main conflict would just make him the same as his father, and that's really boring and cliche. I think that would just be trash in my opinion, because this whole like inner demon thing where like the demon is just like on demon timing, Black Air Force energy just killing everyone. I love that. Like I don't know if you guys
like Master from Black Clover.
I don't know if you guys watch Jujutsu Kaisen, but there's a character named
I want to.
there's a character named Sakuna.
Spoiler
He's
alert.
He's in the body of Yuji Itadori, who's like the main character, and he just like goes on a rampage. He just kills people every time he takes control over Yuji's body. Like I just love seeing that. Like I really hope Boruto, at least with his main conflict, goes down that route where they're just like his inner demon just goes on a rampage every time he comes out, just killing people. I don't think there's any room for Boruto to become friends with Momo, because Momo is literally an alien who wants to reap the entire planet full of its life, right? With like feeding Kawaki to the 10 tails, getting that chakra fruits. So there's really no excuse to make like Boruto and Momoshiki to become friends. Like the difference between like Kurama and Momoshiki is that Kurama, he grew to resent humans because he was used as a weapon of war. Like the first person who created Hagoromo, he like treated him like his own son, right? And then over time he grew to resent humans because how he was treated. Then he met Naruto, they became friends, they're like family, you know. Whereas with Momo,
Black Clover literally just ripped that off of Naruto.
I mean, that's a common trope. Like, they do that all the time.
Yeah, they do it. Like Yugi and Yami, Naruto and Kurama, fucking Black Clover. I don't know this, but I haven't seen that. Of course, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Well, Jujutsu Kaisen's unique. They do it differently. Like the inner demon's killing everybody.
Check this out. I think there's an argument to be made for them becoming friends, depending on how you want to do it. I was talking with Baara and FreeGame about this.
Nothing that you're gonna say that's gonna make me be like, that's
in the last podcast. Well, let me say it. So in the last podcast, I was saying, it looks like Momoshiki and Ishiki are doing the same things, but I think fundamentally they're not. Like it's the same, like outcome, but for a different reason. Like I think Ishiki is trying. Okay, so I think there's gods above the Otsutsuki, and I think Momoshiki is trying to go to Kaguya's sector to get them back on track, so that they can harvest the fruit and then go back to their masters, so that there won't be any fucking problems for their clan. Right. Where Ishiki is like, no, like I want to become a god. I want to fucking destroy these people. That's why when he died in the manga, at least, he said, I can't let the will of the Otsutsuki die with me. And what I took from that, if my theory is correct, is that Ishiki is a rebel, and he feels like if he dies, that rebellion ends with him, because Momoshiki is trying to maintain the status quo, right? So I think if Momoshiki kind of switches his perspective, because like I said, he's not a mustache twirling villain. He's there to do a job. He's not there to just wipe out your world just because. He's there to get the fucking harvest back on track and call it a sector. So I think if Momoshiki's perspective switches to the rebellion aspects, to where he's like, okay, let me rebel against my masters, if my theory holds true. I think if Boruto and everyone else on Earth tries to help him in that goal, then we can kind of have a common enemy where he's like, okay, I was trying to appease my masters, but you know what? On some Vegeta Nappa Raditz shit, like let me rebel against my master, and if you want to help me out with that, we have a common enemy. I wasn't trying to kill y'all just because I'm evil. I was doing it because of them. So you know what? Moving forward, we can work together, because I think that's a common goal. And I think if they play that out that way, them becoming not frenemies, I guess, I don't know, something similar to that would be really dope, in my opinion.
Where they would just like work together just for a little bit, or what? I mean,
like they don't have to be like holding hands, like skipping through fucking daisies, right? But they can come to like a common goal. Like, hey, you know what? Us working together is going to achieve this goal better than me working separately. Right?
That could happen. I could see that, but in a way, as long as they don't become like best friends, where they like share memories, like how Naruto and Kurama can, I'll be fine with it. I kind of want Momoshiki to be like the final antagonist that like just haunts Boruto the entire series. I would love to just see that, because that would just bring Boruto's main conflict to fruition. The entire series of Momoshiki's prophecy of those blue eyes will take everything away, right? So I think like hypothetically, like if they introduce the Jogan into the manga more, if Momoshiki ever gets his hands onto that, that's gonna be like insane in terms of just like the destructive power that the Jogan brings. And like if that's gonna be like the main conflict that Boruto has, that'd be like super unique, just super dope for his character, because that would just put him through so much like pain and trauma, and just like that would just break his resolve. And I would just love to see that for Boruto, to just break down and just try to overcome this like humongous problem and conflict that he is having, that he can't really find a problem or find a way to stop,
I think that's possible throughout the series. Like they'll have that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde vibe up until the very end, where like Boruto finally, well, not maybe not the end of the series, just the end of their arc together, where like Boruto finally like figures out how to utilize everything without Momoshiki's consciousness, and like Momoshiki kind of, you know, they have like a mutual respect, but they never become friends. And Momoshiki just kind of dies, and Boruto just is fully actualized. I think that would be pretty impactful. But I've never at any point considered Ishiki, Kenshiki, Momoshiki, or any of them, Kaguya, maybe Kaguya in part in 2 of Naruto, but in the Boruto era, I've never considered them to be the big bads at all. Like, for me, there is an equivalency between Kurama and Momoshiki, where everyone was like, oh shit, the Nine Tails is gonna take over. Oh shit, the Nine Tails is about to take over. Like, that was like, oh shit, we cannot get to this point. But it was never really Kurama. He was never really the big bad. It was always like Madara, Black Zetsu, Kaguya, Obito, Pain. Like, it was always someone else outside of the demon inside. The demon inside is responsible for the power. The demon inside is never going to ever truly be the enemy by the end of the series. It just can't happen. The trope is living strong. In the shonen manga.
Maybe they go down. Maybe they go away from that trope. But let's just see. Let's see.
Yeah, everybody always thinks of, you feel me, Boruto winning the struggle between Momoshiki and himself. I've always thought this, and let me know what you guys think. What would you guys think if Momoshiki down the line, when Boruto's like 19 years old per se, when he finishes defeating everybody and all the threats to the earth, what if Momoshiki actually wins and Momoshiki has that acknowledgement to say, I'm not gonna go after the fruit after I reborn into your body? What do y'all think about it?
If that does happen, I think it'll be interesting if we go into like some kind of series post Boruto and like Naruto era, where like there's a new protagonist that's not Boruto, but Boruto is the villain of that series, and Momoshiki took over his body, and now this new protagonist needs to defeat this Boruto or Momoshiki in Boruto's body in this post-apocalyptic shinobi world. I think that would be pretty fire.
Like Himawari?
That would be dope. Yeah, that would be pretty fire. Like Himawari, like I don't know if you guys seen Good in Live Gun. I won't mention details. But yeah, like that's a fucking great idea, Baara. Like if in, I don't know, Himawari, the next generations, whatever you fucking want to call it, she becomes the main character, and then she has to fight Boruto. That's fire. I fucks with it heavy.
Maybe. You think Himawari will have any relevance in the plot or no? In Boruto. So. I mean,
I think she's just there to get kidnapped.
Maybe. I don't think she'll be used.
Bro. Literally, Baara the troll. That's his name.
She's just there to get kidnapped, bro. Shit, let's get
I was talking to Stream before you guys hopped on, and I was saying like how cool it would be if Sarada I'm stuck on Sarada. If Himawari would like if she was the same age as Boruto, they're like fraternal twins, not identical, but just born at the same time. And like she has this whole like split personality when she uses her dojutsu, and like the whole thing is like they're both the main characters, and Toneri gives like one, because I'm like, why does Boruto have one eye? So one eye goes to Boruto, the other eye goes to Himawari. But when she uses her dojutsu, that other side of her, that dark side triggers, that wants to consume Boruto to get like, I don't know, the other half of her power, because their power split in two because they're twins. That could play into the theme of like twins consuming each other in the womb type shit, and where like she wants to have like both Jogan or something of the sort. And I think that would be an interesting way to kind of bring her character into prominence. Of course, that's not the case. Unfortunately, the writers are trash when it comes to Himawari.
Yeah, they don't care about her.
Hopefully they do something with her.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even know if she wants to be a ninja or work at Thunderburger, so it's kind of weird. It's like, I hope she becomes a ninja. I think that's like expected. I think we all expect that. She's really.
Right?
Oh,
she got kidnapped in the tuning exams. She was on her own.
Yeah, she does some training with like some of the people at the I know there's like an academy like trial session. She was there, so she has some experience, but I hope like she becomes like a full-fledged ninja and like we see her go on missions. I think that would be dope. But in the grand scheme of things, like in the main plot line of like Otsutsuki's and Momoshiki and stuff like that, I don't think she'll be relevant there. But in terms of like anime original stuff, Yeah, I think I hope we get more Himawari stuff because she's like super OP with her Byakugan. Like, dude, she like legit knocked out Naruto in one gentle fist or whatever it's called. Yeah, that was crazy. So she's definitely super powerful for her age, and I just hope we get some, I don't know, some episodes around her.
So if y'all call it right now, who do y'all think has more potential, Sarada or Himawari?
Sarada. Himawari only's gonna, I don't know. Himawari's only gonna get her her Byakugan stronger, but it's like the Hyuga clan are kind of trash. Like, I don't know, like the Uchiha, they're kind of bums. So I'm not gonna lie. Maybe like some Uzumaki DNA makes her like insane, but whatever.
And then they brought him into the anime, like the Naruto anime, and they hyped him up so much. Like, you thought like they were about to be like the top tier.
They were like, yo, the Byakugan is stronger than the Sharingan, and then like after part 1, they just fall off, and then it becomes like an Uchiha wank fest in Shippuden with like Obito, Madara, Sasuke, Itachi.
I mean, I can see how they like low-key say is stronger than the Sharingan because they can cut off all of your chakra points. Chakra networks. So, like, I mean, that's really big if you're fighting and all you use basically is your chakra, and they can cut that shit off with their eyes. So I guess that's the reason why, but that's the only thing that I can really say that.
I think to Bara's point, I think Himawari might have more potential because of her genetics. I'm sorry, I just got a notification. I think Himawari has more potential than Sarada because on the genetic level, she has. If we want to say like there's some Hamura Hagoromo transference from like Naruto and then Hinata from like Naruto the Last with Hamura's energy, maybe that's the thing. Maybe that plays into why Boruto's such a great vessel for the Jogan in general and the Otsutsuki. Who's to say? But there's also something really strange about her activating the Byakugan at such a young age, which is abnormal. So we were told. And her split personality, there's something there as well. But on the genetic level, yes, I would say she has more potential if we're factoring in that stuff. But if we're factoring in like what we've actually seen lore-wise, it's obviously Sarada.
Facts. Yep.
Baara, you was gonna say something?
Oh no. That's cool.
I was about to say, is Baara still on?
Yeah.
Dope.
My bad, I was posting stuff in this Boruto Reddit group. Somebody was telling me to post our page in there, so I was doing that real quick.
Very nice. Yeah, guys. Real quick though, we have 59 viewers in here. Guys, thank you so much for the support. Again, Baara BX Free Game Podcast. Follow them. We're on Spotify now. Super fucking dope. ItsMeek. Follow my boy ItsMeek. He makes great content over there as well. And of course, Barbie's channel. And of course, subscribe to your boy Mello. Guys, thank you so much for the support and being here. I would love to answer some of your questions towards the end of the stream. But yeah, guys, stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
I gotta start tagging that more often. Like,
yeah.
Just be so into,
our conversation be so deep.
I do like 12-hour live streams. I'm used to it by now.
Damn.
Like Nightbot's putting in work for me.
Thanks, Mel.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, so I had a question that I wrote down. This was supposed to be for a Tuesday stream, but since we're all on, why the fuck not? Hold on, real quick. So, do y'all think that like we'll ever get a villain that's equal to like as far as like the impact that Madara had on the Naruto series? Do you think that we'll ever get a villain that actually like equates to Madara or anything close to what Madara was in the Naruto series, or no?
I mean, if it's Kishimoto that's on the pen right now, possibly, but we need the setup for it because the way Madara was set up in the story before he was revealed, like, dude, it was like 300 chapters, like 400 episodes before Madara even was revealed. There was so much build up to his character, like legit in the first episode of Naruto Shippuden, when you see like Sasuke enter Naruto's mind with like Kurama, and he like dispels Kurama. Kurama immediately says like, yo, you remind me of like Madara Uchiha. And at the end of part 1, you see like Madara and Hashirama's like statues at Final Valley. Kakashi compares like Naruto and Sasuke to them, and like the way his like lore was set up, it was legendary, you know. So we don't really have that with any Boruto villains at this point. Maybe they go down a different route with like Momoshiki or Code or whatever, but in terms of like lore in like history, no. There's nothing really to like say because Madara's like lore was so legendary and so like magical that like people feared his name, right? So it was that, like, that it was so impactful, right? And like when he like first appeared in the story, when he like destroyed the Shinobi Alliance, that like all paid off. So I mean, at this point, no, because we haven't gotten anything yet, but maybe because this is Kishimoto that's writing Boruto. But let's see.
I love this question. This is an excellent question. I think the question is better if we're talking about someone other than Madara, because although Madara was extremely impactful, especially on someone like Obito, I would argue Obito himself, just the way he moved post Madara's death, is way more impactful than Madara. Like Madara lit the spark, but like fucking Obito fucking set everything ablaze. So I think if we're just talking about Madara, I don't really hold him in the top tier in terms of villain. He's super charismatic, but he wasn't really around too much. He has the lore and the history, but in terms of what I saw, like Nagato, Pain, the cycle of hatred, like Obito, Uchiha, and A World of Dreams, like that shit was impactful as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
So all that stuff to me was like way better than Madara. But if we're just talking about Madara, I think I agree with Meek. You need that backstory to kind of be an equivalent to him. Without that, you know, it'll take too damn long at this point. So I don't see that. Maybe Amato, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like Amato has so much potential because we don't know what he's up to. We don't know his like plan or whatever. What are you saying, Baro?
No, I was just saying, I think it's a little bit too early to tell specifically for another Madara because, you know, for example, Hypothetical I always like to do is comparing Naruto Part 1 to Boruto Part 1. At this particular time, we had absolutely no idea about Madara. I mean, I personally think that Boruto right now has a lot of significant candidates. When you think about people, we've been talking about the Otsutsuki King for a long time. Now we get the Otsutsuki God being introduced. And of course, we got a whole bunch of other stuff. We got a whole bunch of other stuff too. For example, the two missing Otsutsuki members that we did see earlier on. There's a whole bunch of things that are future enemies that have actually been hit to that could potentially fill that role. It just depends on how the boards or writers actually do implement them into the actual series. I think it's definitely possible, but it's just too early to tell right now.
I think Jigen is probably the closest thing, right? Like he had hype and build up. Kawaki's like, oh shit, you want to fuck with Jigen? Like everybody's talking about Jigen. Oh, we can't fuck with Jigen, the leader of the this mysterious organization. And then he finally gets introduced and he fucking wipes his ass with Naruto and Sasuke. And then he fucking resurrects and then he wipes his ass with them again. So like in terms of comparison, I think in terms of like hype, with you know the time frame we have to work with, hype and build up and anticipation, it's definitely Jigen, Ishiki. And you could say something for like Momoshiki, where like they were hinting at him in like Naruto Part 2, and then he finally showed up, and he didn't really do too much relevancy wise. But there's like theories that say he wanted to die on purpose, like he was holding back in that battle against Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto, so he can take the vessel Boruto as his own.
No, I agree with that, but the thing what I'm saying, well, what I personally believe is that, you know, I think that the new modern figure, it could possibly unlock a whole backstory about the Otsutsuki clan, because that's something that we haven't necessarily dived into at all, and we understand that a good villain could potentially explain everything and explain exactly why Ishiki Otsutsuki wants the chakra fruit, why Momoshiki wants the chakra fruit. Mello talked about this in the last podcast, and he was essentially saying that they both want the chakra fruits for completely different reasons. And of course, a villain that could actually bring a different type of aspect and different type of understanding to Otsutsuki members and why they do what they do, I think that could definitely be another Madara in the future.
For sure. Yeah.
I like all those answers.
Alright.
I liked all those answers. Yeah,
Dope
that was actually pretty good. Okay. Hold on.
Do you guys think sorry?
Oh no. I was just gonna add, somebody in the chat had a question, but you can go ahead. I'll bring it up in a minute.
No, I was just gonna say, how close do you guys think we are to Boruto's scar? Like, how does he get that scar? Because I think it's self-inflicted. I talked with you guys about this before. He went for the horn last time. That's gone this time. I think he'll go for the eye. All of it's like a visual representation of Momoshiki's consciousness taking over and an invasion of his enemy, that being Boruto. So I think it's in the absence of the horn, he goes for the eye. It's been established in his character that he's willing to sacrifice himself to kill himself for to stop his enemies, and I think that'll be a large sacrifice on his part. I think that's something he'll do. But what do you guys think? Let me know.
A wild card here. Just throwing this out. I think that he may possibly get his scar when he rampages, and I think Sasuke would probably be the one to give him that scar. And I think he, like, I know that bar is like, why do we keep on killing characters off? But I think Momoshiki would be the one to kill Sasuke. And that's why we have Boruto. Yeah. I know Boruto really looks up to Sasuke, and that's why he wears his cloak and stuff like that. But maybe, what if that's the reason why Boruto wears his cloak and carries his sword around, just because, you know, that was his sensei and he has this deep connection with him, and he was the one who actually killed him, not purposely but mistakenly. Sasuke gives him the cut on his eye with his sword, tries to hit him, try to swipe him down with his sword. Borushiki does something to evade it, gets that scar on his eye, and, you know, he gets taken out by Borushiki, and that's when, you know, Boruto comes back to, you know, his consciousness. He comes back to, you know, being Boruto, and he picks up his cloak and his headband from there.
That would be so impactful, bro.
That'd be crazy.
Fucking rain falling down and shit. He has the blurry vision as he looks down on his bloody hands. He's fucking breathing heavily and shit. Then he looks over and he sees like Sasuke with his eyes still open, lifeless body. He's fucking. That shit would be so impactful.
That'd be crazy. Oh my god, yeah.
Good with y'all.
We like talking about Zeds, man.
Good with y'all,
Yo, Baara is scared of the smoke.
Yo, let's keep it PC. Why you got it? All right, like, what's going on here?
Cut the malarkey, bro.
We all promised two things, like death and taxes, bro. So
facts. We gotta talk about it. Yeah.
But why y'all killing Sasuke off at like age 36 or 37? Like, well, let's chill out.
It's time, bro.
It's
bro,
about
Sasuke
time.
is my favorite character. So hearing him is gonna die in the series, that kills me. But I know it's possibly.
Yeah, it's very possible. There's definitely a high chance of it.
Very
They're
high
not
chance.
doing shit with his character right now. Like, they're just making him look like shit year by year. At least if you kill him off now, it'll put him out and have him go out in a good way. At this point, the dude is gonna be fucking Konohamaru level in the next 2 years.
Facts.
Damn.
That's kind of crazy to say that though. That's kind of. Oh man.
I'll be saying I'll be bugging.
Oh my god. That hurt. That hurt.
He got no arm, he got no eye, he ain't got shit, bro.
I feel like Mello secretly hates Sasuke. Every single time I bring up the fact that I want Sasuke to get another power up, he's always poo-pooing it. He's saying, "Nah, it makes no sense. It's probably not gonna happen." Then he says, "Oh, Sasuke's gonna die before the time skip," and he just said he thinks the time skip's gonna happen in 2022 or 2023. So you think Sasuke's gonna die within the next year? It's too much for me, partner. We all understand you hate Sasuke. You have some sort of secret agenda against him.
Do you watch this show called The Odd Couple?
Yeah. Well,
okay, because the fact that you said poo poo, that's literally is one person on earth that I've ever heard you. Rob Parker. Okay. So I got you. I know you, bro. I know you. Okay. Yeah. So look, I love Sasuke. Look, Sarada's my favorite new gen character, of course. Kakashi's my boy. And if Kakashi died, bro, I'd probably drop the series. I ain't gonna hold you.
God damn.
Like I'm a Kakashi fanboy. It's my favorite character.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But
Sasuke... No, wait. So I think, you know, Sarada might unlock her Mangekyo Sharingan by killing Kakashi. What's the problem?
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming out on the stream. You guys have a great day. Make sure you guys subscribe. What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Kakashi needs to train Sarada. Okay, I think he'd be a dope ass sensei. But that's not leaving.
Oh my goodness.
Sasuke, I love Sasuke's character. But I hate what they're doing with his character, and I don't see any out for him, especially since he just got depowered. Like, his eye just got taken away. It's not going to come back immediately because that would devalue the power loss to begin with. So now we're left with a situation where for a long period of time in the future, there's nothing that I see in the horizon for Sasuke other than failure after failure. So for me, I'm like, take this character out in a meaningful way right now. And I think that'll do worlds of wonder for his character, because there's no fucking way they're gonna give him a cybernetic eye or arm right now post being depowered and nerfed. What would be the point of him being nerfed?
To make sure Boruto is stronger than him, which he already is. Yo, I've always said this. Again, what I've said, it makes no sense. Well, I personally think it makes no sense to say that Sasuke has no value right now. There's Otsutsuki members that are literally trembling because of Sasuke's actual abilities, his actual ability to actually decode a bunch of Otsutsuki member abilities. Ishiki Otsutsuki literally said that Sasuke is the more dangerous one. We know how Momoshiki feels about Sasuke. He came back to life just to poke Sasuke's eye out. But we understand the fear Sasuke generates among Otsutsuki members, and I think his fear and his overall impact versus Otsutsuki members, it's it's been felt heavily. So I think, of course,
I'm talking
he's not
post Rinnegan.
Again, post Rinnegan, I see him getting another power up. I personally don't think that Sasuke's just gonna sit there with one arm and one eye. I think that's completely impossible and it makes absolutely no sense. We've seen Kakashi get power ups. We've seen Mike Guy get power ups. We've seen multiple older generation characters get power ups, even though Naruto and Sasuke were the guys. I think Sasuke and Naruto, both of them, are going to be equally the guys with Boruto and Kawaki. Not saying they're going to be stronger than Boruto and Kawaki, but of course, I personally believe that Naruto and Sasuke have a better chance of being their backups than Mitsuki and Sarada because they're already at that level. It makes no sense to destroy the two very good pieces to a puzzle that, of course, Boruto and Kawaki would actually need.
When do you think they get this power up? Because I'm saying they just lost their main power.
As early as next year, because I personally
in a couple of days.
I said in the next year. I personally believe that they had to make Boruto and Kawaki stronger because we understood every single big fight had Naruto and Sasuke in it. Now every single big fight is going to have Boruto and Kawaki in it because of their karma seals, and of course because of the maturity of their karma seals. Naruto and Sasuke right now could literally get power-ups and still kind of be not even stronger, equal at max, and of course weaker just a tiny bit. On a low end, I personally believe if you have Boruto and Kawaki taking all the big main fights, it doesn't necessarily matter if Sasuke and Naruto are completely or significantly weaker. They just have to be a tad bit weaker, so we know that Boruto and Kawaki are the big dogs.
So do you think, okay, so I agree with you. It's possible that they will get a power-up in some sense. But what I'm talking about is something relevant to like the top tiers so that they can actually play a pivotal role. Like, do you think they're going to get something relevant soon?
Absolutely. Right now, again, I counted the blows the other day when Boruto entered the second stage of the karma seal. I like to call it. Some of you guys have different names for it. He was essentially stronger than Code. And when it comes to blows being exchanged, he landed 4 blows, Code landed 1. So you can logically make the assumption that Boruto kind of surpassed Code right then and there. Of course, if Naruto was just right below that, he'd of course be in the same conversation, same stratosphere as Code. And of course, we understand because it is Naruto and not Dragon Ball Z, ninjas are able to outsmart other characters that are stronger and more faster than them. I personally believe that Sasuke, because he's one of the most dangerous ninjas because of his ability to actually decode things and of course come up with plans to actually defeat Otsutsuki members, that right there in itself could put him on the same level as like hypothetically a Code or even more Otsutsuki members or possibly even Kata members in the future.
Interesting. Okay. I disagree, but okay.
All right, Izagi in the chat, he had us a question that I thought was pretty interesting. Have any of you guys ever watched Bleach before?
Hell yeah. I grew up watching Bleach. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Bleach is fire, bro.
Baara, you watch Bleach?
Nah, I played a Bleach game. I used to play a game called Naruto Arena, and they had like a copy and pasted Bleach version, so I played that.
Oh shit. Nah, Bleach is iconic, dude. It's amazing. I love the whole power system, character designs, etc.
It's dope.
Fire.
They're coming back.
Yeah, that trailer was amazing. I lost
We
it.
can do some content on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would love to. I was gonna make a channel just solely on Bleach, but
I'm rereading the manga right now just to refresh my memory.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I have to pick up on
Yo,
it. All right.
that Ichigo Grimjaw fight.
Oh my god. Now when you got the final Getsuga Tenjo? Sheesh. Against Aizen?
I don't want to spoil anything. But
the one, that fight you're talking about, Mello, that one was top tier. I think that was better than one with Aizen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, bro. That shit was
my
fire.
god.
Grimjaw's my boy.
Yeah, Grimjaw's lit, bro. Yeah.
Talking about Black Air Force
That's definitely Grimjaw.
Ichigo was going crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck Grimjaw. No, not Grimjaw. Sorry, I'm thinking about the wrong fight. What's the other Espada's name?
Oh, Ukiyoda?
Oh, Ukiyoda, yeah.
Yeah, that fight when Ichigo went full
Oh, spoiler.
Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, Ichigo had Black Air Force energy on that one. Anyways, off topic.
I'm probably not watching it.
Nah, you gotta watch Bleach, bro. You gotta watch Bleach, Baara. You're missing
That's
out.
definitely one of the best animes out, bro.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you guys think Boruto will win against Momoshiki for his body like Ichigo and Zangetsu? Since Baara didn't watch it, he don't really know what the hell that means. Let's decide who's going to be the king of the horse. No, it's more like, I would say it's more like Boruto. Well, Zangetsu is kind of like Ichigo. It's Ichigo, but it's like another person. Like another. How would you explain it? Y'all better explain
Basically,
it.
there's an entity inside your body trying to take over your body, and you combat this entity for control of your body.
Like Naruto and Kurama when he beat him in that 1v1.
But it was different though because they actually fought. Like it was a real fight. Naruto and Kurama was more like a tug of war type of thing.
Well, they actually did fight each other. I mean, Kurama just threw like tail beast bombs and threw his tails at him, and then like Naruto was throwing like Rasengan. Like Kurama fought in the way that a fox would fight. He wasn't throwing punches, but he was throwing tails.
When did they fight?
They fought in the war arc before the war arc, like on that island with Killer Bee.
Yeah,
his mom.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna
Damn.
have to go back and watch
that was really impactful. Yeah, that was huge for Naruto.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
Yeah, I love it, man.
I think if like Momoshiki and Boruto fought, like would Boruto be able to look? It's a shonen trope. We all know these demons inside, the inner demon, the entity taking over. They always lose. They have to. He's the main character. At the end of the day, this is a shonen PG-13. He's going to come out on top, or wipe it, whatever the rating is.
We know this. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, it's typical. It's probably expected.
Shonen history. I think 20 plus years of shonen history has told us, okay, this is how it's going to happen.
I mean,
maybe they could subvert expectations, but I think it's more logical to say they won't. But hey, I never know.
I mean, it's typical and expected for Boruto to beat Momoshiki, but I mean, if you want to go down the unique routes for Boruto, maybe like he fights Momoshiki, he gets bodied. Maybe he cuts him a deal for him, like Momoshiki, like they do like a little deal on whoever controls the body or some shit. Like just like how Jujutsu Kaisen does that. There's like a scene where the characters do that. Like I love when we have like a conflict where even like the inner demon like overcomes the main host. I think I'll say it over again. Like Jujutsu Kaisen does it so well. Like y'all gotta get into that series, man, because they do that trope amazing. It's such a unique. It's like the same trope, but like it's done in a completely different way that makes it super interesting. And I really hope Boruto does that, where Momoshiki just like haunts Boruto for the rest of his life. Maybe like toward the end, as Mello said, maybe that'll get resolved in a way, but. In terms of just like inner conflicts, I mean, it could go down the typical shonen route, but you know, let's just wait and see. We're just theorizing, you know.
About, like, I'm a big Black Clover fan. You know, I keep on bringing this up, but there was like this point in Black Clover before. Spoilers. If anybody who's like going to watch Black Clover or trying to watch the anime and haven't, So I'm sorry, it's just a slight spoiler. It's nothing really big. But before him and the demon inside of him become, you know, sort of like friends or whatever, the demon asks him for sacrifices.
He got a demon inside of him.
Yeah, no, legit. He has a demon inside of him. That's where he gets his grimoire and everything. Like he has no magic, nothing like that, and he gets possessed by this. Not possessed, but yeah, sort of. He gets his demon inside of him. He gets what's called anti-magic, and for everybody in the Clover Kingdom or in that space, or I'm sorry, in that verse, that's kind of like the OP power because everybody uses magic and he has anti-magic to cancel out their magic, so nobody can really kind of fuck with him in that way. But to get back on my point, the demon basically he asks him to sacrifice body parts before they become like Kurama and Naruto. Asks him to sacrifice body parts. So the first body part he had him sacrifice, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was his arm. So the demon took control of his arm, took over his arm. And his arm was rendered useless after the fight. Like he couldn't use it. They had to go to like some witch, and the witch had to perform some spell. Like they had to do a whole bunch of stuff to get his arm to get back working because he sacrificed it to the demon. And then like after he sacrificed, it was only like after he sacrificed, he only had like a short time period of using the demon's powers. But after that time period was over, his arm was useless. And he asked the demon, can he sacrifice another body part? He was like, no, you wouldn't survive because of the power that I'm exuding would pretty much like kill you. So like, how would you guys feel about that? Like if Boruto, like they didn't become friends, but Boruto, in order to use Momoshiki's power, he had to sacrifice something, like either like how you said his eye or like an arm or something like that.
Doing spoilers? We all spoilers?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, ain't no spoilers.
Like, wait, repeat your question again. I kind of missed it.
So in the series, the main character has to sacrifice a body part to the demon inside of him in order to use his power. So how would you feel like instead of him and Momoshiki becoming friends, in order for him to use Momoshiki's power in the future, he has to sacrifice something?
That'd be cool. That could be like that could be his eye. Like that's where you can possibly introduce the Jogan, because the Jogan is something that's definitely being built up post time skip. So maybe if he gives away like his right eye or his left eye, the eye that comes out with the Jogan, because we know when he accesses Momoshiki's powers in chapter 64, it was a Byakugan, right? So maybe that his eye gets sacrificed. Maybe that's why he like self-inflicts the wound, that scar on himself in the future, and that's where you can possibly introduce like the Jogan or something like that. That's definitely a possibility, but I don't know about you guys.
No, I'd kind of just say it wouldn't be completely congruent, because we understand that Momoshiki was sent to Earth to do a mission. Like, he has to do something. He can't just be lollygagging with humans and stuff like that. So I personally believe, and similar to what Kawaki did, which is why she's probably looked down upon by other Otsutsuki members, she essentially abandoned the mission and just went to Earth. And of course, Momoshiki came essentially looking for her head. She was about to turn her into a pack, but that's besides the point. I think if Momoshiki were to just completely abandon the Otsutsuki clan, it just wouldn't necessarily be congruent with the overall storyline.
Okay. No, I mean, like, the only reason I understand what you're saying, like, he has a mission to complete, but he's going to be stuck in Boruto's body until he's 100%, and he can actually, take over and resurrect through him. So he has nothing else to do but to lollygag inside his body until he comes to that point where he can actually fully resurrect. So say, like, for instance, like a threat like Code or somebody higher than Code manifests, and Boruto needs that power, but he can't fully tap into Momoshiki's power pool without him passing out and Momoshiki taking over. What if they come to like some type of contract, like, hey, I will sacrifice this in order to use your power without you manifesting and you taking over and causing a whole bunch of BS?
I think that'd be pretty fire. I like that concept. I mean, you gain something, but you also lose something, like a double-edged sword. I think that's pretty impactful. And I like the idea. I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But guys, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream now. Oh,
yeah.
Guys, did I say Merry Christmas to you guys?
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
On the stream.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
You for joining the stream.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everybody. And Merry Christmas to everybody that's gonna be watching this video. That's gonna be dropping tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're watching this from the from Spotify, Apple, Merry Christmas to everybody.
For sure.
Yeah, Boruto 2021 was an amazing year for the series, the manga and anime included. And you guys have some great theories and ideas about it. I can't wait for 2022.
Facts.
Hopefully it's good.
Facts. 2021 was an amazing year. We had so many great moments, so many iconic moments from the anime, so many amazing fights, so many amazing characters that were introduced into the plotline. The manga has been setting up this year, but it's looking up to be an amazing 2022. So I just want to thank you guys for coming out. I know we're like all busy and stuff, but it was fun talking to you guys.